our great sound director decided to turn off the sound on me because I was offensive, and I'd like to apologize. I was too extreme for the internet.
And I'm sure it's a Mike's plan. Blackwood back in. So I'm gonna. It's an example of right now. I'm gonna cheat on my turn.
It's a good vibe. It's hot.
Good working with you last night in that race.
Yeah, we got it out. We're like, yeah, it's good. Oh, let me see. I'm trying to. Okay, yeah. Jorge Mako. Oh, yeah, I got it. I forgot you told me that. Where are these pieces? Well, it looks really cool. Tom? That's Give me a Vulcan high five. Yes, you can. I can do it. So, where's she going? Oh, wow. My wife, next year will be going her third time to Korea. Well, I didn't. See, I wasn't. We even, the worst one was one of my, oh yeah. Holy day, yeah. So it's I'm here to buy souvenirs. Come on. That's like yeah. We have two Lincolns and Alexander Hamilton. I mean, I was hoping you would have to have a nice
By the way, my name is Mike. What was your name? Scott. Hi, Scott. I'm sorry about that. Because Mike was working here, he looks just like you. I was like, Mike, no, wait a minute. Didn't need a rich. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You, oh, my gosh. They will throw you out of here. They will actually follow you to the local state to make sure you actually share out money. It's good, though. Yesterday, they got two.
Good morning and welcome back to Columbus, Ohio for our coverage of the Origins Game Fair 2017. I'm Eric Summerer. Welcome to our Friday morning stream. We'll have a whole slew of designers and publishers for you, as well as questions and answers. You can talk in the chat, ask some questions of the folks you see on the screen, the games you're seeing on the screen. We appreciate you joining us today. Before we get to all of that, I want to mention our friend Jeff Engelstein. And he's been the contributor on Game Tech on the podcast for almost 10 years now. He has a Kickstarter going now where he's taken some of his favorite essays from the Game Tech segments and put them into a hardbound book. It's on Kickstarter right now. It went live yesterday. Check it out because, you know, he's our buddy and we want to support him. But now, we've got lots of interviews that begin in about 3 seconds. Hi, and welcome back to Origins 2017. I'm Eric Summerer. I'm here with Craig from Happy Harpy Games. I had to practice saying that this morning.
Thank you.
You have to say it. Happy Harpy, Happy Harpy,
Happy Harpy.
Harpy Games. And we're checking out Robot Rise, which I'm already, I would love to welcome the robot apocalypse. How do we do that?
Well, we start off with embracing the robot culture.
That's
So-
step number one. Got it.
Great. So Robot Rise is a game of mad scientists battling each other for domination, and they do so through building giant robots and dropping nukes on their secret lairs and all kinds of mayhem. So it starts off, the game is very colorful, it's got lots of great artwork.
Yep.
Basically, you start off with, you get 3 secret lair cards,
Okay.
and when they get destroyed, they simply get flipped over. When
Nice.
you lose your 3rd one, you're out of the game.
Got it.
So it's a player elimination game. There are 5 different kinds of cards in the game. There are lethal attacks. Lethal attacks destroy secret lairs.
Okay.
Nuisance attacks have no effect on lairs, but they annoy the heck out of other players.
Sure.
And they help you. You've got your defense cards, which allow you to defend against both lethal attacks and nuisance attacks.
Good.
You've got utility cards, which help you do interesting things. And then you've got event cards. Event cards happen to the players, and they are rarely good.
All right, and these different types of cards are all displayed on the bottoms here as he defends in nuisance attacks, etc.
Lethal attacks, exactly.
Got it.
So, for example, we've got laser satellites and nukes as lethal attacks. Nukes can also be used as defenses because, when there's something annoying you, what's more effective than dropping a nuke on it? We've got, of course, Robot Rise would not be Robot Rise without giant robots.
We do need, and they must rise in some
Our
way.
robots are so big they require 3 cards to construct: a head, body, and legs.
Okay.
And of course, you can swap them around.
Nice.
Any combination of head, body, and legs constructs
Okay.
a functional giant
Sure.
robot. To help you create the giant robots, you also have a flexible bot module, which can substitute in as kind of like a wild card.
Gotcha.
Those are the lethal attacks. The nuisance attacks include raid and major raid, which allow you to steal 1 and 2 cards from another player.
Yep.
Mind control, which allows you to force another player to not attack you on their next turn. Freeze ray freezes another player, they lose their next turn. And monologue, your evil monologue is so boring, you force another player to fall asleep and drop 2 cards of their choice.
I want to use nothing but monologue.
Monologue, yes, you have to practice your oratory skills.
Yes.
You need no practice though, Eric.
I will be ready.
To defend against any of these attacks, you could use a nuke, of course. You could use a fully functional giant robot. You could also use an escape card. Simply run away, plot your revenge. If you're being attacked with a nuke or a giant robot, you could use an EMP card, electromagnetic pulse. My favorite card in the game is, however, malware. Malware is devious. If you're attacked with a giant robot, the malware card actually defends you and turns the giant robot back on its owner.
Nice.
Who then has to defend or lose a lair.
Yes.
So the utility cards include Secret Cache, which allows you to draw a couple of cards. Part Swap, you get to exchange some cards. Time Machine, you get to look back through the discard pile and pick up a card and put it in your hand. Force Field protects your lairs for 1 turn. And that brings us to the event cards. So when you draw an event card, such as a spy attack where government agents have infiltrated your lair, you have to defend or lose the lair. Same with the disaster card. You built your lair in a volcano of all places, and now it's erupting, and so you
Who
have to
would've
defend.
known?
Exactly, we're crazy that way. And then finally, Global Annihilation. Everybody in the game has to defend or lose a lair because you push the big red button that says do not push.
Gotcha. So gameplay-wise, how many cards do I have in my hand? How do these get played?
So if it's 2 players, everybody starts off with 7 cards. If it's 3 to 6 players, then you start off with 5 cards. Gameplay is very simple. You play a card or a card set if it's a giant robot,
Okay.
and then we deal with the implications of that card, and then you end your turn by drawing a card. If you have fewer than 3 cards, you draw up to 3. There's one last bit when there are 3 or more players in the game. If you have, say, a head and a legs card in your hand, you can't form a fully functional giant robot, but you can request a temporary alliance. So you could say, I need a giant robot body. If another player is willing to give up their body and they contribute it, they then draw a replacement card, and you can then send that giant robot off to attack anybody who is not
Other
your
than-
alliance partner. Exactly.
And it's a binding alliance.
It's
There's
a binding
none of
alliance
this.
only until the giant robot attacks. Then all bets are off because
Ah.
we're mad scientists. Our scruples are somewhat tenuous, right?
So the giant robot, once it attacks, is it out? Is it done?
Yes. Every card goes straight to the discard pile. So
Okay.
you build the giant robot in your hand. You then deploy it directly to the discard pile,
Okay.
and someone else must then defend.
So don't get too attached to these guys.
No,
because after they're done, they're done.
Exactly. So
Poor giant
we've got
robot.
15 total giant robots, so you can make 3,375 different combinations.
Okay.
So there's a lot of variety.
Awesome. All right, how quickly can we expect the robot revolution in Robot Rise?
So this is going to be on Kickstarter the month of August. So if you don't get a chance to play it here at Origins, try and play it at Gen Con. We'll be hopefully delivering product in January.
Excellent. And this is final art. This is what everything's going to
Final
look
art,
like.
final rules. The game is in stone. We've got manufacturers already lined up. So
I mean, this looks like a pretty close to final
this
mock-up
is
too.
a prototype box. The final box will be a little bit bigger. It'll have a nice insert that'll support sleeving for those folks who want to do that.
All right.
And our pledge level is going to be about $19.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Craig from Happy Harpy Games. This is Robot Rise. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks for watching.
Is TMG's right out here, or are they going to be? Well, that's not even open yet, right? So 10. I'm just thinking we can go to find out what it is. Because Tom's doing pictures. And... Cassie, how are you? About what? I don't know what to say. No, so TMG.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm like,
Oh, you're the one. All right, that'd be awesome.
find out. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. We're back on the main interview table. I'm here with Cassidy, one of a trio of hosts for Board Game Blitz, which is one of my new obsessions. I've been listening to this show. I blitzed through all of the episodes in about a week and a half, I feel like, which is possible because your show is
30
usually
minutes.
30 minutes or less.
Yep.
Which is, was that always the plan? Like, was that one of the tenets? Let's do a show, let's make it short?
Yeah, so that was one of the biggest things we saw somebody post on Reddit about what they like and what they think is missing in podcasts.
Yeah.
And one of the things they said was missing is something short. Not everybody has long commutes and everybody has an hour to listen to a long episode. So we were like, we can do a 30-minute podcast. Let's just get it done.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like you're rushing. I mean, it's there are segments that you hit what games we've been playing, and then there's a short topical segment, and then there's some word etymology, and then you're out, and that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Do you find that the pressure? Do you feel like you have to keep pushing to keep that lower time frame, or is it just you naturally fell into that cadence?
I think it was difficult at first to narrow it down to only half an hour because we were just getting to know each other too when we started. We didn't know each other beforehand.
Yeah.
So not only are we trying to feel each other out, we're also trying to keep it in a short limit. So we do show notes. We take notes before we start so that way when we are talking about games we played, we can be concise and not ramble on too long about specific components and stuff. And then we take a couple notes about our special theme each week,
right,
or each other week. But we try to keep that a little more open and a little more like a conversation. But we've got it down. I think our recording times went from about an hour an episode to 45 minutes an episode.
That's great.
So
well, it's a 30-minute episode. Only have 15 minutes of filler. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I think we're doing well. I think we hit our stride.
Yes. Now, what you mentioned it. I think another fascinating aspect of your show is that the three of you did not know each other or had met online.
Yeah, we met on Reddit.
and had not even met all in person until what?
March.
This March.
Yeah.
So
at NeepleCon.
episode 25 or so.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Did you? I mean, how did you know that you'd be able to click just discussing on Reddit?
We didn't. We had a couple of conversations before we started just to see if personalities would mesh and work well together, and then we just sort of, we talked for I think almost a year before we started recording. So
wow.
We took some time, we did a lot of research, we got to know each other, and now we're pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Crystal seems to be the lightest of the three. You somewhere fall in the middle.
Crystal's our thematic gamer.
Okay.
She will play heavy things as long as the theme is there, I think.
Okay.
She really likes theme. I'm somewhere in the middle where I have a large gaming group, so we play a lot of social games, a lot of quick 30-minute games, and so I fit somewhere in the middle. I like the heavier stuff. I'm not so much into theme. Crystal can have it. But I'm definitely like in the middle, like I'm that bridge, I guess, between the two of them.
So before you were a board game podcaster, you were an attendee at Origins.
Yes.
How many years have you been coming here?
About 10 years.
10 years. You're a Columbus resident.
Yep. Yes.
So this is your backyard con.
Yeah, everybody, I've been talking to some people on Twitter and they're so excited to come to Origins and I get that and that's awesome, but I'm like, it's just down the road. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a big con to me.
There isn't the travel aspect to coming here.
Yeah.
So what does your Origins usually look like? What's your schedule? Do you schedule many events?
I don't schedule anything.
Okay.
Nothing. I schedule 0 things for Origins because normally I'm running into people I know and having conversations with friends and getting into demos and getting into games with them and going across the street to Barley's.
Okay.
And yeah, I just kind of run around.
Are you a boardroom ribbon purchaser or not?
I did last year. Last year was the first year I did the boardroom ribbon. I'm only here today and Sunday this year, so I didn't do the ribbon this year.
Okay. So what's on your agenda? What are you running to find in the exhibit hall?
I really want to demo Unearthed. I really want to demo it.
Okay. In fact, I went by that, and I it caught my eye. Certainly, it has a
It's
distinctive
pretty.
graphic
It's pretty.
design, and I didn't get anything more than that. Just sort of, this looks pretty. You sort of get a vibe as you walk through the exhibit hall.
Yeah.
And you can see there's some very limited production booths where they're just sort of sitting there and waiting. Please come look at us. And then there are others that they've spent the time and effort to really present something. And Unearthed is one. They've got a big backdrop and
Yeah.
several tables demoing. I will be sure to drop by.
I'll demo that, and I want to pick up Cottage Garden if
Okay.
it's still available.
There were still, last I checked, there are still copies available. Yes. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to demo much in the hall yet, but
Yeah, I haven't. Well, like I said, today was really my first day in, so I came straight here.
yes. And also you're helping us here in the booth, running
That's
some
true,
camera
yeah.
and keeping things figured out. We've been having some chat difficulties in the booth today with internet connections, and it's, a convention hall is such a weird place to try and set up
Oh yeah.
something like this. You've got all these logistics that from one day to the next things get goofy, and it's the joys of live television. So if people haven't checked out Board Game Blitz,
Yeah.
how do they find you guys on social media? Where do they subscribe?
We are on Twitter at Board Game Blitz. We are on Facebook, also Board Game Blitz. We are. Oh, where else are we? We have a guild on Board Game Geek, which is also Board Game Blitz. You can download the podcast just about anywhere. iTunes, Google. I haven't found a service yet that isn't carrying it.
Have you found that the audience response has been has it been overwhelming to suddenly go into popular podcast territory, or?
It is sometimes. I'm not a spotlight person. Again, Crystal's our advocate.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's been interesting. I've run into, we're on Patreon also, so I've run into a couple of our backers over the last couple of days just at a local tabletop cafe. And so I've gotten to play some games with our backers, which has been awesome. And it's a little overwhelming how many people are actually listening to the podcast. I never expected it to.
Awesome.
So I just thought I was going to do this thing for fun, and that it eventually just fizzle out like a lot of things do. But nope, Crystal has made sure that we're never going anywhere ever.
Well, certainly for the time being, thank you, Cassidy, for hanging out with us and for helping us out in the booth. You can check us out, check them out at Board Game Blitz, and we'll have more from our live coverage of Origins 2017 in just a bit. Thank you very much. And Derek is not there. He's not there to push the button. So we just have to keep talking until he sees. Just a second.
Until he
We'll
decides
try
to
and
push
get
the
Derek's
button.
attention. Hey, Derek. We're done talking. It's fine. We're still live.
Nobody
So-
wants to push a button.
no one. We're trapped, everyone. We can't leave the table until Derek pushes the button. But he will. Oh, we're done. Whenever you're ready, you can push
Just take your time.
We'll see. We've got more coming very soon.
So strange.
Wait, what camera's on right now? Oh. Hey everybody. As usual, some publishers are late, so we're just riffing for now. But hopefully they'll be here soon. Let's take a look around the convention center.
Did Z come this time, or did he stay home? Do you know where Portal Games is? Portal? Yeah, because I told him I wasn't kidding. I was going to get a copy of it. He's staying there. this you want to do it, Mark? You want me to hop on camera and just explain to the folks what's happening?
I can't do that.
Hey folks, Mark here. So apparently we're having some technical issues with YouTube, so the chat is not working 100%. Please continue to send your questions, and if we can get it up and running, we will definitely do Q&As, but please don't hesitate to send your questions in. We will be checking as much as possible. So just to let you know, we may be postponing some Q&As, but just keep asking away, and hopefully everything smooths out. Thanks for watching as always, and back to the convention.
No, I've been sitting downstairs talking to Chris Mertz.
Eric's going to be running your interview. Good morning, by the way. Good morning.
Thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I hope I put it away. It looks weird. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, give it to me after.
Local for me.
I came far. Eventually they'll start flying off.
Yeah, well, Andy said my.
Watch your reviews. I love them. Yeah, I love watching yours. You're always go say hi. I love that you guys always talk about it. I love that there's guys who are good for it. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your reviews. They're always your level better than well. How's it going?
Hello and welcome back to Columbus, Ohio for the Dice Towers coverage of Origins 2017. I'm Eric Summerer here with Lance Meister from Tasty Minstrel Games, which we will heretofore refer to as TMG.
Yes.
We have a bunch of games to look at, but first up is Okie Dokie.
Okay. Hey, Eric. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Awesome. All right. So Okie Dokie is from Hisashi Hayashi, the same designer as Yokohama,
Yes.
which is also from Tasty Minstrel Games. But Okie Dokie is a cooperative game, also can be played solo. It is for 1 to 5. And the art here, I'll let you look at it too. But,
that's very nice.
Yes, it is. All these cute little animals are putting on a music festival is the theme of it. And
I'm already excited.
And so, like, the cards themselves have, once again, the cute little animals, and they have numbers on
wow.
them, obviously. You can see.
That is a parrot playing a cello.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a double bass.
So you notice, and I'm just going to put these out so you can kind of see, they ascend from 1 through 8. And the whole goal of this game is to create, you're going to deal out cards to people and they're going to draw cards, but you're going to have a certain number of cards in their hand and they're trying to get all 50 cards out. Now the trick is that you actually, let me get one of these zeros out. You have the rows of the cards down 0, 0, 0, and then so each one of these colors is like a different suit.
Okay.
That they're going to have to get, but you have to go in ascending order. And it's a secret knowledge where you're holding your cards like this, and you can give kind of hints as to what kind of cards you have, but you can't flat out say, oh, I have a orange 6 or whatever.
Right.
And so you have to start with 1, 2, and so on and so forth. And then what happens is that, you can get jammed because, like, maybe you'll start off with a 1, and then you'll go to the 4, and somebody has a 5, and all of the 6, but now the next person who's trying to complete this row doesn't have a 7 or 8. So you can have these reset cards that you'll be able to put down, but you can only put down 1 per row. So you can save yourself a little bit by using these, but then somebody could start over. But the thing is that of course you're going to run out of cards and everything. And so it's a really quick version of, I think somebody described it to me as a smoke signal game. Like, you can't flat out say what you have, Hanabi-esque, if you will. You can't flat out say what something is, but you can give, like, some body gestures and moments, and try to get it done. And I play it solo a lot because it's just really fun and challenging because of the fact that, like, you have to have the certain cards or whatever. So we're really happy with it. We're excited about it. And the response, Z, I know, from the Dice Tower Network, recently reviewed it and said he really enjoyed it. So.
Awesome. So how is this available now?
It is soft released here at Origins. It should be in stores in a couple weeks.
Awesome. All right, that's Okie Dokie. What's next?
Well, here we'll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah!
All right. So this is Jiraku. Jiraku is a game that was actually released, and you may be able to see this, but Mo Ideas is I think they're from Taiwan, I believe.
Okay.
But Jiraku is a trick-taking area control game.
All right.
So Jiraku was released a couple years ago. I know, like you could pick it up. Obviously you could import games or whatever.
Right.
But the premise of this is, and a lot of people actually, the box before was like this larger box.
Yeah.
And then we actually shortened the box down, like, so we can sell the game for a little cheaper. And there was like, well, how do you have a board? Well, actually, what we've done to have the board is, yes, I keep thinking I'm just talking to you.
You just really
and
like
not,
to show
wrong
us.
one.
See, I confused you now.
It's a puzzle, yes. No. There we go. So,
Ta-da.
all right, so there you go. So you have these different areas that are represented by the different numbers, and as you play the game, let me get the cards out here. I gotta remember those. But okay, so the cards have, these are the demos. Sorry, there you go. Okay, so here's the different suits.
Okay.
And the cards, and once again, it's just like trick-taking. Everybody's played trick-taking games. You've gone to your lake cabin and it's raining, so you end up playing spades all afternoon instead of fishing or whatever. So. So it's like trick-taking, but you do get cubes to represent you and your area that you control, and you'll notice that the different spots, it actually like changes as the game progresses, like where you are at and how many points it's worth. So here at the end, like the bottom here is worth a ton of points, whereas the top is low, and then you hear at the other end, as the game progresses, where you've placed your cubes for area control is going to change as far as what they're worth. And so you actually have to plan ahead with the cards you have in your hand to make sure that, maybe like the cards you have left that you're going to win tricks with, will be winning tricks in the right spot, so you'll
Okay.
actually get points.
So depending on what cards you use to win a trick, that's where your cubes will be placed.
Yes, exactly. And so you have to kind of figure out where you want to be able to place your cubes for area control. It's one of those games that like I remember I heard about it at BGG Con 2 years ago, and somebody said, "Oh, you got to check this out." It was like the bigger box. I own the bigger box one, and there's like it's trick taking area control. I was like, what? How is that even possible? But then I played it and I was like, this is fantastic.
Right.
And the cool thing about this is that if you ever do think it gets stale, we have we have all these variant cards, and you can change up different rules and whatever. So if you ever want to change things up and make it different,
You just shuffle these up and bring one out.
There
and
you
say,
go.
We're
Exactly.
playing this way.
We're going to play this way, so you can keep the game fresh and interesting as you play.
All right.
All right.
So when do we see Jiraku?
Once again, all this stuff I'm talking about today is soft release here at Origins.
Okay.
But once again, you'll see it 2 to 3 weeks or so.
All right. So I should just stop asking the questions. What you're saying.
No, but who knows? Yes, it is one of those things where we were able to airship some of these in just for the convention.
Yeah.
We wanted to be able to show off some of our new titles. So.
Ta-da! We'll just grab this, send it this way. As long as they don't go over the edge of the table. All right, next.
All right, so this is Samara. This is from originally published by Quality Games,
Yes.
which is Cornevan. I think it's Morsel.
Morsel. That's the way I always said
Okay,
it.
so that's his kind of like in-house production company or whatever. And so Michael played this at Essen, I believe it was 2 years ago, and he loved it. And so we were able to get a hold of the rights for it.
Nice.
And so we were able to publish it here. Once again, it came in a larger box, but we've actually shortened the box down.
Okay.
We were big fans of being able to to make things more affordable. Instead of like a $60 game, this is like a $35 game.
Yeah.
Make the box smaller, and it's got a lot of game in the box, and as long as you can do that. So okay, so you have. I don't know. Did you ever play this, or have you
I have
heard
not
of it?
played this.
Okay, all right.
I
So
love the designer though.
the game is like old school game. If people are watching this, or Thebes. Remember Thebes?
Yeah.
Okay, so Thebes, I believe, and there probably was a game before. Somebody's going to say no, it wasn't. But this is one of the first games ever that did a timing mechanism where you were like, well, I'm going to take this action, but it's going to take me 7 turns to do it. Everybody else gets to kind of take actions for
Catch up, yeah.
Kraftwagen recently did it. Glenn Moore did something like that.
Yep.
And it is kind of a variant of a rondel mechanism, if you will. But what you have is all of these tiles that represent buildings and what have you that you're going to be building in the town or village of Samara. And I'm not going to put every single one down,
Sure.
but basically this tableau here would be filled with these tiles.
It's all filled at the beginning.
Yeah, and so what happens is that you notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4 workers over here. And so you have several different workers, and then so depending upon what you want to build, you might have to commit a certain number of workers to do it. Also, depending upon what you're doing, your action, it's going to take a certain number of months. So as you play, maybe it's February, I have to send this worker, and he's going to work till June. So and eventually you'll catch up and you'll be able to use this worker again. Now, here's the thing. Because you have multiple workers, like if you have, let me grab 2 of these purple dudes. So unlike other games like this where I've played where it's just like you're sitting around waiting, okay, yeah, you might commit 2 workers to July, it's in April, but you still have 2 workers, so you still have the ability to do other things as well. Now, one of the cool things is you'll notice, if I can find one, you have male and female workers.
Oh.
So now, and it isn't just for being cute. It's like you actually, to get more workers, you actually have to send, you're going to go notice the different colors. That's for one of your workers having a baby, and so you're going to be doing something like this, and you're waiting 9 months until you actually have a baby and you have another worker. So there's some thematic stuff, and you even send your workers on vacations and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Where they aren't really doing anything, and for extra points and so on. It's I really like the graphic design. I like how just bright and poppy the colors are. And once again, it's that perfect 2 to 5. Everybody's always looking for 2 to 5 players.
Yeah. So was this the original art design for the Koali release?
Yes, it was.
And you just sort of shrunk it down and reorganized it.
Just made it, normally when we bring things over, like any games that we that we co-op with, we try to maintain a lot of the original art. Sometimes we can't, like with Colosseum, we weren't able to because we didn't own. There's no way we could get a hold of the art. We
Right.
couldn't own it. But as long as we can own the art and everything like that, one, it's obviously efficient.
Right.
Just not have
Sure.
to create all new art. But also we want to stay true to the original design as well.
Excellent. So Samara, again, available soft release here
So-
in the next couple of weeks, everywhere else. Whew, I've got this down.
Yes.
One more.
One more. Oh, yeah, just. Yeah. All right, so this is Kuro. I'm sorry, this is designed by Kuro. Manifest Destiny, right here,
Ooh.
is his design group. He is also from Japan. He is somebody that Michael. He goes to Tokyo Game Market a lot. I was lucky enough to go to Tokyo Game Market last year, and I met Kuro. He is just a game designer in Japan, and he created Ars Alchemia, which is a game we released last year. This is another one of his games that we've released. This is a game where ancient city, the theme of it is, okay, there's an ancient city that is kind of falling into disrepair and what have you. And all of you are architects of and you're trying to revitalize the city. And what the city used to use time traveling powers to to create anything they needed out of this thing called materia.
Is that how they fell into disrepair? We should probably mention this is called Lemuria.
Oh, Lemuria. Yes, thank you. I apologize. You see, that's why you're the expert.
That's why I'm here.
Yes.
Got to keep you on track.
All right. So I'm just.
To ancient city, fall into disrepair, possibly because they were using time travel.
Yeah. So as always with a lot of these resource collection, processing cards and everything like that type of games, there is theme, whatever. But it's a cool theme, right? If you want to buy into it and
Sure.
go for it, you can. So you'll notice this is the Star Altar, and the Star Altar has all of these these different minerals, plants, and so forth.
Okay.
The different things that you can create, and this matches up like here.
Nice.
So as you play the game, you are going to be vying for control over the Star Altar, and you're going to have I'm not going to pull all these out right now, but you're going to have different items on the Star Altar, and you'll notice that this will point into different directions.
All
and
these different grids are fascinating.
Yes. So if you have control over the Star Altar, you can control what the Star Altar is going to use the materia, the astral time travel power to create. And so then you're going to be able to make things, and I'm going to find the smaller cards. Here we go. So I should mention that this is for 3 to 4 players. For some reason, Kuro likes playing games. He most of his games, if you play them 2, that it doesn't work really well because you need that third, because then the 2 people are butting heads.
Yeah, you need the spoiler.
You need the spoiler character. Yeah. So that's why that is. But okay, so these cards have all of these, and then they will be located in these locations as the game progresses. And these cards have these different buildings that you're going to be using to revitalize this ancient city that has fallen into disrepair and what have you. And I think it's kind of neat. We decided actually to stick and actually keep the original script on there because of the fact that I think Kuro is a really big fan of anime, and he's a big fan of that. And so a lot of his art is represented by that, and the different types of Ars Alchemia by us has more of a bubblegum look to it as far as manga goes, but this is a more serious manga look to it.
Sure.
And I think, and we wanted to kind of maintain that representation and everything as well. And yeah, we could have it's not going to hurt you as far as that goes.
It's like playing the game subtitled.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I think that's actually a great. I'm going to use that.
Oh,
thank you.
please do.
I'm totally going to steal that.
Please do.
But okay, so you're just going to be collecting different resources by using the Star Altar, and then you're going to be using those to build these different buildings and gain more prestige. And then after a certain number of rounds, the game is over. Whoever did the best job at revitalizing the city then becomes the ruler of the ancient city of Lemuria, and then you are the winner.
Wow. I want to know more about how this Star Altar, where you got a bunch of little tiny pieces that.
Well, okay,
that
so
end up out
here are. Let me dig these out.
Just because I'm sure people want to know a little bit about how this all works. So let's say I'm trying to build this Tower of Prayer.
Well, okay, so this might be really, really tiny, and I can't even it's so you'll notice that these are the things that it needs to have. So you'll notice that you need 2 scrolls, and you need 1. I think that's a brick, and 2 stone.
Okay.
And so as the Star Altar, let me here. like grab. So here are the different things, and then
Yep.
you'll notice that there's certain banks or whatever here that also will contain things. But for the most part, like when this twists and turns, you're going to be creating these different like resources, and depending upon which ones you need, which ones you have control and be able to do that. And once you have them, I apologize, I don't remember which round of the turn it is or which section of the turn it is. That's when you're going to be turning those things in and to create those. So I'm trying to remember. I apologize.
Because I'm fascinated to figure out how I want to start playing this and figure out how this is going to work. Is it resources that get placed in these grid spaces?
Yes. And so, and where it turns and where it ends up, that's where, that's what quadrant. You notice that it has these different separate quadrants that are.
Right.
That's what's going to be available for choice. So, you might desperately need, because you have your eyes on something or whatever, you might desperately, so you want to vie for control and be able to take that. And if somebody else might have something. So once again, you have to gain control of it and be able to grab what you need. Notice how this one, just needs a ton. And
A ton of wood.
Yeah,
Wood.
a ton of, is it wood? Okay, yeah. So it's a ton of wood. So, and then there's a spot on here that's going to gain you a bunch of wood, and you desperately want to do that.
But I would need to fight for area control in order to acquire that wood payout.
Yeah, exactly. And then and other people are going to be trying to prevent that from happening because they don't want you to get a bunch of points for doing that because you've got this card and you're sitting on it and you want to create it.
Okay. So do I get to claim these and say I am now building this thing?
Yes.
And so everyone can see I'm building
Yes.
that, but no one else can build it. So I'm the only one that wants a ton of wood. But
some people might because maybe they have this, but they don't want to give you.
But it's less important to
Yes.
them than it is to me, and that shifting importance of various resources.
Exactly.
Excellent. And once again, Lemuria soft release here, and you'll see it in the next couple of weeks.
If you're super interested, man, I can hook you up on it.
Oh, thank you. All right, thank you very much, Lance. I appreciate it. That was a whirlwind of stuff.
Yeah, thanks very much. I wish I could show you Trade and Intrigue for Orleans, the third expansion, or second expansion, but our shipment didn't come in time, and so we are now waiting for it to come up today. So maybe I can run back in here for 5 minutes and just show it off.
What's the best place for people to go to find the latest information on TMG?
Our website, playtmg.com.
Excellent. Thank you again, Lance.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Get over there, they don't have anything. They're all kind of huddled, they're having a group meeting. I'm like, all right, I'll come back later. Aries, I was going over there to try out Sword and Sorcery. Nothing. Wah, 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 wah. Careful with your shoelaces, pal.
What's up, brother?
Hey, bud. Tie your shoe, Lance.
Hey folks, we continue to have some issues in chat, so if we don't get your questions, I apologize. But we do have a couple on deck for Lance. All right, man.
Let's do this.
All right, so do you have any updates on Chimera Station or Harvest?
Okay, so, oh wow, people are actually, it makes me happy when people are excited about Harvest, because we're actually really excited about Harvest too. So I'm going to talk about both, we're going to talk about Harvest first. Harvest is, if people don't know, Harvest is set in the Harbor universe. Like if people played Harbor, like Harbor universe also includes the game like Belfort is in the Harbor universe, and we have some other games that we're developing right now that are also going to be in the Harbor universe, and we kind of want to do that. We want to like theme that world, if you will. Harvest is. I actually got a funny question. Somebody said I felt like Harbor, and I'm not making fun of this person for asking this question. So, in the chance that somebody hears me say this, it's like somebody said I felt like Harbor was the Havre Light, and I was like, okay, well, I guess ostensibly maybe they're about shipping, but I mean, I don't think they're the same game. But fine, whatever. If you feel that way, you feel that way. And somebody said, so is Harvest? Is that going to be like Agricola like we were just like following? Right. And I was like, no, because Agricola is more about like building your family and all those things, whereas Harvest is strictly about doing a harvest. It's about harvesting food and creating that. So that is so Harvest is originally a game that was presented to us called Pixel Farmer, so it was like it was something that was submitted to us as a possible design. And it was, pixel art, but it was still, but it was farmers and pixel, and just, farming and everything like that. And so we've just adopted it, done a bunch of graphic design with it, and used the same artists that we used for Harbor to do that. Now, Harvest. Now, all that being said and done, because I wanted to give that kind of background, because I thought that was kind of neat. All that being said and done, we are slating. I'm going to cross my fingers here for Q3 release for Harvest this year. But as you know, timing and everything like that, I'd love for us to like say have it. I don't think we'll have it for Gen Con. I don't think that's going to happen because it hasn't been shipped yet. It's still in production mode right now. But if I cross my fingers and really, really hope, maybe BGG Con, we can get it.
All right.
But my gut tells me we'll have it in 2017. Okay. So that's what I feel anyway.
All right.
And then what was the other one? What was the other one I want to know?
Oh, about Chimera Station.
Oh, Chimera Station. Okay, so Chimera Station is the game, the worker placement game, where they are, you're trying to create the space station by creating different spots and placing the hexagons down, then actually create more spots and more places for workers to go and different actions. It's a fantastic game. Chimera Station is unique in the fact that you have these like basically mutated workers that you get to interchange pieces. So like you actually like you can add like an extra like tentacle to your and so the workers are actually miniatures. It's our first real game with miniatures, and so they're interchangeable and they snap together. And so, like, then if you have an extra tentacle, when you go collect resources, you can get an extra resource because he's got a tentacle to grab more food. If you have a brain, you do things, faster and more efficiently. So, and then there's even like these things with like claws, which will allow you, because you're a tough guy, you can go to a spot, and if they don't have claws, you can beat them up and knock them off the spot. Then you can use the spot. So you don't have to only have one. You could have a guy with tentacles and claws. So now he has like two things that you can do for you. So you get to actually mutate and change your workers.
Neat.
So
I like that.
Yeah, we're really excited about it, and we successfully funded it through Kickstarter.
Yep.
And people are, and the problem is that it isn't that the game isn't done. It's like the artwork's done and everything like that. The problem we've been running into is, the miniatures being able to snap them together, and like, so we had a prototype that worked really well, and now to replicate those molds and everything like that, we want to like be able to like get our copies and then like snap them and unsnap them like over and over again.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Because we don't want those to be like after you played the game
They're
10 times they're
loose
or the peg that holds it together snaps off, because we don't want to give people a game that like is going to be broken. Because one, we don't want them to be upset, and two, it's like it would be expensive for us to have to replace it. We would want to replace it for people if they did that. So we've had some holdups with that, and I know that like our fulfillment isn't going to happen like to our backers' wishes, and that's something that we take very seriously, and we're very upset about it. But we're trying to do anything as fast as we can, but we don't want to do it at the cost of the actual gameplay experience. So
absolutely,
late Q3, early or Q4. I mean, I don't want. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but it's coming out in 2017.
Good.
People are going to get it. It's going to be on stores. They're going to have their copies. That's. I mean, I think that's like one of our major concerns right now, is that we're trying to make sure that we get that done. So
great. All right. Let's see. Is there a timeline for Crusaders Kickstarter?
Okay,
Possibly.
that is. I just got done running the Flow of History Kickstarter, so anybody who's listening to this who backed it, thank you very much. We're very excited about how well that did on Kickstarter. The next Kickstarter we're going to be running is Crusaders.
All right.
So, we are in the final process of art. I have been writing and creating the Kickstarter page, and getting all the data that's necessary for that. We are obviously we're going out there. We are getting some high quality prototypes made so we can give those out to reviewers, and so they can get some content out there and people can get excited about it. If you're not familiar with Crusaders, I joke with Seth Jaffe. He's my friend, and he's our in-house designer. He's the guy who created Eminent Domain.
Right.
One of our signature titles. When he was creating games like Microcosm, stuff like that, he was creating these smaller boxed games, right? And I half absentmindedly mentioned to him, I was like, when are you going to actually create bigger games? It's like big, like an Eminent Domain or something big. It's just I wanna see a big game from Seth, right? Mm-hmm. And so about a week later, he sent me he sent me the rules to Crusaders. And so I say, well, I need a co-designer credit because I actually pushed him out the door to create it. But no, Crusaders is about being in charge of a group of Templar Knights. You are trying to basically exemplify your Templar order by doing a lot of different things. But most you're building buildings to deify yourself and all. But it uses a Mancala plus a Rondel mechanism. The cool thing with the Rondel is that as the game progresses, you actually get to upgrade your Rondel. So the places because each person has their own personal Rondel. So as you play, you get to upgrade your own personal Rondel and actually make it better as you play the game.
Neat.
The cool thing about it is that historically, the Templar orders, were disbanded by the king because he thought they had too much political power. People were starting to believe in the Templar orders, and he was worried about them. And he actually disbanded the orders, and in some cases they were persecuted and executed. So, because he believed them to be treasonous. So the game actually ends when the Templar orders as a whole are starting to gather too much power. So it isn't one of those things where it's it's 8 rounds and it's done.
Right.
There's a organic end to it that I think I always like in those games because it kind of adds or subtracts to it's if you're in the lead, you're trying to push it. You're trying to push that because then you can claim the victory.
Right.
Well, everybody else is no, we got to slow that guy down. So Crusaders will be the next Kickstarter.
Okay, great.
And then I'm hoping to have the Kickstarter going here in if not late July, early August.
Okay, great. All right, then any ETA for Australian Kickstarter backers for Coliseum or Yokohama?
That is I want to be able to just say you'll have it tomorrow.
Yeah,
I want to be able to say that. And I know a lot of people, and there's some people that have received it, some people that haven't, and that is it is a shipping situation that one we do not take it lightly, and we do not take the length of time that they've had to wait. That's something that bothers us a great deal. And I know that it is coming soon. It's just, and I know they've heard that a million times. They've heard a million times. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. We personally feel that basically the shipping partners that we picked, and we're not trying to push any blame onto anybody else. Right. It's all of us. We chose who we chose to have it done the way it was done. We made the decision when Coliseum was waiting to be shipped. It was a situation then when Yokohama was coming in a week later. It was we had the situation wait. Trust me, if it wasn't something where we could have put them together that quickly, we wouldn't have done it. And all I can say is, without having an actual a computer where I only use this right here,
right?
Without being able to actually look and look at the shipping partner, maybe send them an email and ask what's going on. I can't give an exact date.
Okay.
I know it's happening soon.
Good.
And in the future, right now, our shipping logistics director is looking into other options so that when we do have our shipping that with Flow History, because we got a ton of backers from New Zealand and Australia, and it was fantastic that they did that. And we're going to use a different shipping partner so we can make sure that our backers in that area will get it more expediently. and in a faster time.
Great. Well, that sounds good. All right. Well, Lance, thanks
Mark,
so much for coming.
it's
so
really
good
fun
to
to talk to
see
you.
you.
Good to see
Yeah,
you,
it's so
buddy.
great. All right, folks. Sorry if we didn't get to all your questions, but again, we're having some technical issues with YouTube. So anyway, we're out. We'll see you soon.
I know, I was thinking that too. I was like, why are you shaking?
Hello and welcome back to our coverage of the Origins Game Fair 2017. I'm Eric Summerer here with David from Traders Luck Games. And we're looking at a new edition of a game that you've been working on for a while.
It's been a while. It was originally released 30 years ago with Steve Jackson Games. I designed it then. And then when it went out of print after a while, the rights reverted to me.
Yep.
I've been looking for an opportunity to do something with it, and when Kickstarter comes along,
All right,
it was
this is
time to
called
do it.
Star Traders. Tell us about, you already got me interested with
Yeah.
the theme.
The year is 3250.
Okay.
You're in the far future. The Galactic Emperor has declared that the galaxy is at peace. There is no more war. So the heroes are the valiant star traders who travel from world to world, picking up and delivering materials in their trusty starship.
Okay.
And you are a star trader.
Me?
Yes, as it happens, the Star Czar, the ruler of the manager of all merchandise in the galaxy, has retired.
Okay.
That's the official word from the Emperor. That's what we're taking.
Sure.
The Emperor has declared that there will be a competition to determine a new Star Czar.
Gotcha.
And that's what we have here.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Everybody has their own ship. You move around in the ship. You move along jump lines. You have stations, and the stations help you get to make some of your jumps. For example, I have to roll a 6 on one die to get to Heinlein from Silverberg.
Now, these are all named after sci-fi authors.
These are all named after science fiction authors with their permission, except for the 3 19th century authors that are just sort of...
They're not around
yeah,
anymore.
They're not around anymore.
They're not going to complain.
So, but they're named after my favorite science fiction authors, the cargoes that they carry. For example, Silverberg carries dream speakers. The cargoes they carry relate to what they wrote.
Wow.
Wells exports time machines. Verne exports a Nautilus submarine. So, you move around.
Okay.
You jump. You may need to make a 6 to jump from Silverberg to Heinlein. But if you're jumping back to your own station, it has a navigation beacon. You do not need to roll anything to make that jump.
Okay.
You get 5 actions in your turn. Most of it will be jumping, but you will be doing some pickups. For example, contract number 1 is going to have a pickup here, which is the up arrow. It will be delivered into Heinlein as we see here. So if I make my way up along Dick to Piper and pick up cargo number 1, then I'm carrying it here. We mark it this way rather than me taking this card because the game is interactive and you can go along and get over here and pick up that cargo also as you place it on that station. So
okay.
It is at heart a pickup and delivery game. It is, I think, better than that because it is very much interactive and the contracts are common.
Mm-hmm.
And there is other interaction, especially with the Traders Luck cards. You can help each other. You can, if I'm sitting over here and want to jump to your station, then I can either roll a 6 or I can turn you and say, may I have permission to use your beacon? And I'll pay you 2 Starbucks. Starbucks is the money.
Okay.
And you can say yes, or you can say no, or you can say, how about 4? And but there definitely is interaction, which most pickup and delivery don't have.
Yeah.
And there is a climax at the end of the game. It's not just collect so many Starbucks, so much prestige. Prestige is your awareness in the galaxy. But when you get enough, you petition the Emperor. If he grants your petition, you get one final Imperial mission. If you complete that before the end of before anyone else, you are the new Star Czar and you have won the game.
All right.
So each of the contract cards tells you where it's picked up, where it's delivered, what the payoff is, how much prestige you get for it. If there's a station owner there, then the station owner gets money for brokering the contract.
Yeah.
But every one of the contract cards has another half as well. So when you're playing it as a contract, you're using this half of the card.
Yep.
But the other half you use when you draw into your hand. It's bigger on the inside, gives you extra actions.
Okay.
Stargate gives you a jump anywhere in the galaxy.
Uh-huh.
All your stationery belong to us, means that you can jump to someone else's stations in a turn. So those are good things. It could be there's a calamity, lost in space, where you have to roll randomly for where you end up. There can be avoid a calamity. The security officer next to you is wearing a red shirt, so you avoid a calamity. Each one of the avoid calamities is different, but you will find each one familiar.
Okay.
So there's good things, there are calamities, there are ways to avoid the calamity. You're making your way around the world, around the galaxy, as the saying goes, picking up and delivering, and you're having fun. It's a fun game.
How do more contracts come out on the board?
You play, well, we have a 2-player game set up with 3 contracts, but generally it's 1 contract per player. So on a 2-player game, you go ahead and run the 3rd contract, but in a 6-player game, you run all 6 contracts. 5-player game, 5 contracts, and so forth. So these are sitting on the sideline right now.
But then when one is claimed, then a new one comes out, we reposition them. I like these pick-up and drop-off markers. That's pretty cool.
That took a lot of thought. we wanted something that was visible, but it took a while to figure out what on earth to do, and so we've got that going. And the first contract is a VIP contract. It gives you bonus prestige for delivering it. That's the one that the Emperor and the rest of the Empire particularly has its eye on. So you get more prestige for delivering that.
Excellent. And the numbers that you have to roll on each of these are based on the colors?
They're based on the colors. So, for example, any green line you have to roll a 6. This is a 1d6 roll. A blue line you have to roll a 5 or a 6. You have to roll a 4 or better for the purples, and so forth.
So it's a threshold that you're trying to hit.
It's a threshold, yes.
And it's hard to see, I think, from the overhead camera, but there's a certain number of dots on each of them. So there's 6 dots on here.
In fact, we have worked very hard. It's a very colorful game. I love the colors. The dice are all different colors just because they're pretty that way, and you can form illogical conclusions about which one is rolling better for you. But for having all the color, we have tried very hard to make it colorblind accessible, which includes the dots, which includes, for example, you and I are red and green, but it's red and green have a very different look.
Different pattern,
They have a different icon, but a different pattern as well. And we've worked, I won't certify this as colorblind accessible because I don't know where you get that certification. But I've talked to colorblind players as we play tested it and worked very hard to make it as accessible as possible in that way.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, David, for showing this to us. If people are interested in Star Traders, where do they go to find out more and to pick up a copy?
So can I give a URL?
Go for it.
It's tradersluck.com, TradersLuck, and we will give you one there, sell you one there, and and you can pick it up here for the very first time at Origins, and we'll be trying to get into retail. That's our next step.
Okay, so available here now at the fair, on the website, and hopefully at your local gaming store
Absolutely.
soon. Thank you very much, David.
I do appreciate it, and I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
No problem, and thank you for watching.
Yes, take care.
Z, are you stepping in?
I want to keep talking. I want to keep talking.
Grab one of them, so.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Origins 2017 Summer Preview. I'm here on Q&A, so make sure that you send all your thoughts for Sherwood games that we haven't come up. They're setting up the game. After that, we have Portal. Then we have Cryptozoic, which I'll be with you all the way through. And have your questions ready, and we'll be taking a look at a whole bunch of things today. We've got a long list of people coming in today, so we're looking forward to it. Can you hear me all right? Okay, because I hear myself. Oh, that's right, I'm being a jerk. So I hope everybody's having a great Friday. We're getting ready for a really good Friday here at the Mighty DT, so I hope you stick with us. They're just getting set up over there. You're going to have Z for the next hour. Then after that, I believe it's Sam. Is it Sam the next hour? Yep, Sam the next hour after that. So you're getting all the heavy hitters here. Question, I missed Mayfair yesterday. Is Le Havre reprint at Origins? You know something? I thought I saw some walking around, to be honest with you, Anthony. I'll pick you up a copy and send it. I wish I could. I said I wish I could. You never know. I've been known to send things. Lots of things. What times will you be at Origin tomorrow? I will be there all day long. They're ready? Hey, we're ready to head over to Sherwood. So that means you're going to get yourself some Z. Go.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our Origins Summer Preview 2017. I'm Z Garcia. I am here with Duncan from Sherwood Games. Hello Duncan.
Hi everybody, I'm Duncan Davis, and I'm here today to talk to you about Robots, Battle for the Cold Heart.
Here we go, Robots. He's going right into it. Do it.
So, the way Robots works is it's a game about building up your robots and beating down your opponents. So there are two paths to victory. First, you can completely build all of the parts of your robot, you finish, you are done, you win. Or you can break everybody else, you knock their HP down to 0. When you are broken, you're not out of the game, you're just limited in what you can do, so everyone's in it till the end. Every round, you're going to choose an action to pick, and depending on which action you choose, you can let everybody do something, but for being the one that picked it, you get a perk.
Okay.
So if I mine, everybody gets a resource, but I get 2. If we fight, everybody attacks each other, but I do 2 extra damage. The robots are all completely asymmetric, so they all build in different ways and give you different powers. For example, Dr. Constructor is an expert at building up parts efficiently and using those extra parts to deal some damage. The Gizmo Guru takes some equipment cards, which are all one-shots that can let you do powerful plays, and comboing them to do maximum damage. The Extractor Esquire is great at using extra resources and mining efficiently in order to have an extra set of resources that they can funnel into building parts and doing damage and other sorts of actions. And the Executioner beats you up and takes your lunch money. This is a 3 to 6 player game, so we actually have 6 boards that we can have a lot of fun with.
Cool.
And it plays in about 45 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. 3 to 6, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay. About how long is the game play?
The game plays about 45 to 90 minutes, depending on how quick you take your turns.
Okay, and more players, I assume, might be a little bit longer as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, sounds good. When is this going to be available?
So this is currently available in the dealer's hall. We're at Sherwood Games in booth 110.
110. If you're here watching this live, go check them out. Booth 110. Sounds great. Is this your first published game, the first game from Sherwood?
So this is the 5th. So
Fifth
before we
game.
did
Wow,
this, we
okay.
did In the City Origins, In the City Harbor, Exploit, Missing Link, and then this is our 5th.
Okay, sounds good. Was this a Kickstarter?
Yes, sir.
And it's delivered, all of that is done
Yep,
already?
all that's
Very
done.
cool.
Everyone around the world has their games.
Okay, sounds great. MSRP on it?
So it sells for $50, but if you come in Wheel and Deal, I'm always happy to figure out what's up, and I've ranged for budgets. So come chat and we'll figure out what's up.
The guru here, the Gizmo guru, he's the cash guru. Come talk to Duncan. Maybe you'll get a good deal on it. Awesome, good talking to you. Thanks for showing it off. 3 to 6 players, go get them right now. Booth number again?
110.
110, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Good talking to you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
You're trying to look at my badge or my car. No, I'm thinking, you think I'm weird. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't actually. Yeah. I might have nominees.
I think Eldorado was probably. I wish I had a drink but it's too weird. Well, and most people hadn't outside of King Kong.
I hadn't even heard, I've heard of King Kong. I saw the list and I was like, I've never heard of any of this. Which is weird.
It was weird. The height machine wasn't working. The Magic Mazes, you did not enjoy it. Well, you enjoyed it, you just found it really
well. But then when I suggested something, let's just get one guy at a time, they're like, no. And then afterwards, Tom goes, actually, that's probably the best idea. So I think I could have done that a little better.
So
I'm wondering.
Magic Maze works best for everyone. There's 4 characters, and everyone's controlling together. So like, you might be able to control characters going right, and I can control them going up. Another guy controls the left, and then we have more special things. But once the game starts, you start a timer, and the goal is to get into this long story, steal an item, and then everyone gets out. But once the timer starts, you're not allowed to talk. The best you're able to do is stare at someone, or there's a little red button that you put in front of you, like, you can move. And then, okay, well, some things get the time flipped, even if it shortens your time.
We're ready for it.
It's great.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
How you doing? I am with Sherwood Games. Duncan, how are you?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Here's a microphone.
Thank you kindly.
Just hold on to that. All right, listen. You're talking about lunch money, beating people up. I mean, what's with these robots, bro?
Hey, these robots are all different. They got to express themselves, man.
They got to express themselves?
You got to give them a chance to really shine. You got to build them up and see where they want to go.
Anti-bullying. Come on now. Come on now.
Fair enough. Maybe he's protecting somebody else who's smaller, his little brother in the background.
There you go. Hey, where'd you get the names for these? Did you come up with them?
Yeah, so my fiance and I came up with all the names for the robots, and we always like to be a little cheeky with our names.
Yeah.
So we have, the Gizmo Guru, the Executioner, Dr. Constructor, Professor Siphon, who steals your HP and makes it his own. All sorts of fun stuff.
Now, the real thing that everybody wants to know is a little bit more, what are the main mechanics for the robots?
Okay, so each of the robots has a focus in the different areas of the axes you can pick. So there's a robot that focuses on really mining efficiently and getting a lot of benefits during the mining phase. There's another robot who upgrades really efficiently and gets lots of benefits during the upgrade phase. There's another robot who fights efficiently. And so each of the chests lets you attack during a given phase. Each of the parts helps you combo in different ways. And so it's all about figuring out the different combos that your robot can do and executing them well. For the more enfranchised gamer, we also have a drafting mode where you're going to take all of the parts, lay them out, and then everyone's going to draft a multicolor robot to maximize your ability to make cool and interesting combinations that you've discovered on your own.
Okay, so what you're doing is you're actually putting different parts on these things so they can attack each other.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And then the main mechanism behind the game is action selection. So when you're picking, every turn you pick an action, everybody gets to do something, but for being the one that picked it, you get a perk.
I mean, I love the boards. They look really cool.
Thanks.
Now, are you planning to come out with more robots and things like that?
So we have an expansion in the works that's going to convert it to more of a co-op game.
Okay.
And so what will happen is in the setting for this game, the robot world is running out of power, and they found this coal heart of infinite power that they're all trying to install. And in fact, throughout the game, you can steal the coal heart and use that to help you in your adventures. And if you install the coal heart for 24 hours and you become, omnipotent, you're the power source for everybody, so no one can mess with you. So they're all fighting over who gets to be that omnipotent robot. In the expansion, we're going to have a co-op version where now the robots are working together against an external threat, someone who's trying to attack the robot world and take them out. And so instead of trying to compete aggressively to try to take the coal heart and make it yours, you're now working together to fight an external threat that's coming to wreck your city and your civilization.
Any chance of having modular toys to build with each robot?
I'm still waiting for my callback from Hasbro, so once they get back to me, I'll let you know on that one. We can tie it into the newest Transformer movie.
There you go. Is there the robots fight? Is there a board the robots fight on? How does movement work? Players ganging up on first player.
Okay,
is there a way to
let's take
prevent
those
that
one
kind
at
of
a
stuff?
time.
Yep.
So first off, there's no movement. If you attack someone, you just attack them. There's no positioning. It's all based on the mat you have in front of you as you're building up your robot. And when I say I smack you, you're smacked. That's it. There are some equipment cards that can mess with that a little bit. Things that can like have your damage or let you heal. But by and large, if you want to attack somebody, you've attacked them.
Okay.
So there. Let's see. So there is a bit of ganging up on the first player where if someone starts to get ahead, then you can gang up on them and knock them back down. And so this whole game actually came out of playing a lot of Puerto Rico, where I would have this terrible experience where I'd get very, very far ahead to the point where people would just be like, okay, you've won, let's stop playing. I don't want to do this anymore. And be like, well, that's not fun. There's not a balancing mechanism. So I wanted to keep the resource management and the building aspects from Puerto Rico, but added the ability to directly interact with people, make it more about fighting and making it more about having some interaction. And so I was like, okay, so I want resources that you're building parts and attacking each other. Oh, robots is the perfect fit. And so that's where the conception of this game came from.
Well, there you go, kid. All right, Sherwood Games, my man Duncan here. If you're here at Origins, go stop by his booth.
Sherwood Games, booth 110. Let's do this.
Well, there you go. And good luck,
hey,
my man.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. Take it easy.
You too.
Thank you.
Oh, but apparently like the one all over stock. This one.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Origin Summer Preview 2017. My name is Z Garcia. I'm here with Chevy Dodd from Portal Games. Chevy, always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. And he's going to be giving us a look at Alien Artifacts. This is a prototype coming out later from Portal Games. It looks great.
It's final components.
Not final, definitely. Hence proto. But it looks exciting. It looks interesting. It looks sci-fi, which I love.
Absolutely.
Take me through it a little bit.
So this is a 4X style game that's entirely card driven.
Okay.
We have resource cards, which make up our hands, and our resource cards will have 2 different resource types on them. So you can use this card as either a blue resource or a green resource.
Got it.
What these resources do is allow you to build new things. So you could build a new planet, so you're going to spend green to go explore planets.
Okay.
You're going to spend blue, which is technology, to develop technology. And red, I don't have any red.
Right here.
Is how you build ships.
Okay.
Okay, and those 3 things work very similarly to any other 4X style game. A ship is going to let you go attack things. All right, when you build a ship, for instance, when you move it to the built side of your board, this is the under construction.
Okay.
Moving it over, you get to choose at that point in time. Do I want to use this ship for an in-game bonus? So for instance, this one lets you play an extra card when you discover a new planet.
Okay.
Or do I want to go on an attack?
Ooh.
So if you want to go on an attack, you would flip it. You're now on an attack run. At that point, you have to choose. Am I going to attack an alien planet or am I going to attack on a fellow player?
Okay.
Attacks are resolved very simply. You choose one of the 2 alien planets that's out, or you're going to choose the other player, and you're going to consult the chart on the planet, or the player will have a defense card that looks very similar. You're going to flip over the top card of the resource deck and do what it says.
Okay.
So it might damage your ship, it might destroy your ship, but you also might get a ton of resources, or you might get to just build free stuff, or you might get an alien artifact.
Got it.
Alien artifacts are all sorts of special powers. They allow you to build stuff for free. They allow you to get victory points. One of them lets you take 3 extra turns at the end of the game. So they're valuable to go search for. Technology, when you build it, again, you get to choose. Do I want this in-game bonus? This one says every time I attack, I gain a victory point.
Okay.
So if I was a thoughtful player, I would have built this one first, then attacked and got an extra victory point.
Got it.
Or I can flip it to the backside, and this is in-game scoring bonuses.
Okay.
So if in this card, for instance, says, if at the end of the game I have 4 ships, 4 built ships on the right side of my board, I would get 2 victory points. 6 would give me 4, and 8 would give me 8.
Got it. So a real big balance between something now versus something later.
Yes. Planets, the same thing. When I discover a planet, it moves to this side of my board. I have to decide, do I want a purchasing discount? So this would give me a discount on all future technology that I build.
Ooh, wow.
Or I could exterminate them, and I would tuck 3 resource cards under here that I can then use on a later turn.
Got it.
Additionally, when I do that action, if I match the symbol on the planet to the symbol on the resource card, I'll score a bonus victory point right then.
Got it.
So this is another way to get extra victory points. When you're building these things, the first one that you build costs 5.
Okay.
Each additional one after that costs you 1 more, so this would be 6.
Okay.
All right, so getting the planets with the bonuses is super important because you can only ever spend 2 cards on an action.
Wow. Okay.
So so these go from 1 to 3. So to spend 2 cards, you'd have to have 5.
Right. So I can
to
spend
build this or
5 green here, right?
Yeah, 5 green would let you build your planet.
Yeah.
But then the next one you would need 6. So you'd either have to have 2 3s, or you would have to have a planet that gives you a discount.
Yep.
And additionally, there are cards, for instance, the one that we just showed, that says you may play an additional card when you're discovering.
Okay.
So this card would let you break the rule. You'd be able to play 3 cards to build your planet.
Okay.
That's pretty much the flow of the game.
Now I'm seeing character cards here. Are there character powers in here as well? Is that what these are?
Currently, they're all baseline right now.
And it's just a little artwork to tell you who you represent. Okay.
As of yesterday, we have wiped them out, and we're kind of tweaking on that a little bit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
As is typical with a Portal game, you could be male or female, so they're double-sided.
Very cool.
And yeah, right now they all have the same faction powers.
And this is to keep track of victory points?
This is your money.
Money.
Yeah, victory points. I have some tokens in the box, but we'll have a victory point track. So
Okay.
it'll score just like most of our games.
Got it. Sounds good. How many players does this play up to?
2 to 4.
2 to 4 players. 4X style game that plays quickly. Gameplay is about how long?
An hour.
That's
super quick.
Insane.
Yeah.
Actually have played a demo of this, but it was a while ago, and it's changed quite a bit. These guys are always at it. They're always chipping away at these things.
It changed this morning. I woke up to new rules, new cards.
That's how they do it over a Portal, folks. That's what they do. Very cool, exciting game. When can we expect to see this?
Essen.
Essen, and any ideas to how much it'll be, MSRP?
No, I don't know.
Don't know. Okay, cool.
To be determined.
TBD, Essen though, at the Spiel. Check that out. Very cool. Chevy, thanks for coming by and showing this off, man. It
Absolutely.
looks fantastic.
Thank
Very
you.
good to see you, as
Good
always.
to see you.
And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to see you real soon as well.
Where am I going?
How you doing, everybody? It's me, Rob, with Chevy from Portal Games. My brother, welcome. How's it going? We got a few questions for you, so let's not overwhelm you. Expected delivery for First Martians. And why isn't it here? They want to know. There you go.
Yeah. Pre-orders should start shipping beginning of July.
Pre-order should, okay,
And then
great.
everything else will be Gen Con and thereafter.
All right, great. Alien Artifacts, is that the final art?
No.
No?
Not even close.
Not even close. Well, I played it at BGG with Z, a matter of fact, and it was, when I looked at it, I go, oh, it's a total different game.
Yeah. No, it's in extreme flux.
Okay. Will there be a solo variant?
Not currently, but I can't say no.
Okay, that's good. How about a peaceful variant?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I mean, it was peaceful until yesterday.
Okay.
We just added the player attack yesterday.
So everybody was getting along until yesterday.
Yeah. But so a lot of people
I mean,
say.
you guys having a tough time here?
No.
Oh, I
It's
mean,
just
you
a
decided to
lot
go
of the
warlike?
feedback was, I wish I could attack other players.
Right,
We'll
right.
give you that option.
Nice.
But it's not, even though you can attack other players, it's never going to be like an action that totally crushes your engine. We're not going to ever let you build up, because it's a 4X. It takes you time to build your engine.
Right.
You're never going to be able to you attack them and now their whole strategy is destroyed.
Right.
It's just going to be a minor inconvenience. So that's the plan.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Ignacio will try to write it so that you can play without that or not.
Okay.
We'll see.
Everybody wanted to know, will Ignacy be at Gen Con?
Yes.
Okay.
And Dice Tower Con.
And Dice Tower Con. Don't forget Dice Tower Con.
That is a show.
Listen,
You should go
find those. Yeah, find those tickets if you can. It's sold out, but keep looking. You're gonna want to go to it. It's the best con out. And finally, expansion for Imperial Settlers. Will there be another one?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have Aztecs here. It's finally in stock in the States. And oh yeah, we're definitely not done with that.
Okay, good. That's what
that is
everybody wanted
our.
to know.
I would say that's almost our flagship game at this point, and we plan to. We have a lot in the works.
All right.
So
now, will you be at Dice Tower Con?
I will not be at Dice Tower Con. I will
See?
be at Gen Con though.
See, you're going to disappoint everybody by not being there. It's not all about Ignacy. Tell them,
Wait.
Portal's not all about Ignacy.
But we have to split duties, I mean,
all right. But you're here, and that's
here,
what's important.
I'm here. I'm rocking it. We're getting it done.
All right. Hey, Chevy, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Portal Games. Go out and buy their stuff. They rule. Let's send it back.
Oh, sorry. This is like a safe zone. This is a safe zone.
Well, I thought it was still on me.
What's happening?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And we're now doing the official Dice Tower news.
I got 2 microphones.
Let's start and head over to the weather with Z Garcia.
Hey Rob, how you doing? Listen, it's going to be a hot one today. It's sweaty out here. This chopper is noisy as all get out. It's about to rain. I feel myself getting nervous. I do believe our rotor is misfiring. But we're going to try to stay afloat here. I believe we're going down now. Hey, listen, it's going to be a hot one. Stay dry out there, everybody. Oh, send help. Send help.
At this time, we've lost connection with Zia Garcia. Is there anybody out there that can maybe let us know what happened to him? If not, let us all bow our heads.
Hey, Rob, you still there?
See?
Hey, yeah, we made it.
You all right?
We're in the river now. It's wet. Fishing seems to be good. Waves, 1 foot or smaller. Folks, grab a canoe, come out here. Someone please pick me up.
You don't float?
I am still seatbelted into the helicopter. I am slowly sinking.
Does that mean there'll be a great chance of precipitation for the rest of the day?
Oh, I'm precipitating some bad weather ahead. Okay, back to you.
And back to Derek for sports.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
I don't know anything about sports.
It's too early to be this loopy. I don't know what's happening. Anyway,
We
how's
had a-
everybody doing out there? What's going on, man?
Are we still live? Oh, is it?
Nasi? Chevacek? All right, I gotta go, man. I got things to do. I leave Rob the command central here.
Oh, we got something going on here,
I'm
bro.
gonna do my thing. What do we got going on here? Attack on Titan from Cryptozoic. Oh yeah, I've seen this. Cool. All right, let me go do it.
He's precipitating in his pants after that crash.
I'm doing actually yesterday at about 2 I started getting out of my nose. So I was like, hey, maybe I'm getting better. I was in a hurry. I need to get my mask on. Tired of being in the hospital, so I was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, screw it, I'm going to take this all now. What are you going to do? I'm not sure.
Attack on Titan again. There it is. There's this interesting face right there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Origin Summit Preview 2017. I'm Z Garcia. I am here with Matt from Cryptozoic. How are you, Matt?
Oh, just fine.
Good. Good to have you. We're going to be taking a look here at the last stand, at the Attack on Titan: The Last Stand.
Indeed.
And
let's not forget a game by Antoine Bauza
This is very
and
true.
Ludovic Maublanc.
That is very important. I love those guys. They do fantastic stuff.
yeah.
So I'm going to leave it in your hands. Please give me a brief look at what's going on here.
Right. So, as everyone knows, Attack on Titan is the story, the anime and manga series of giant humanoid things that attack the last bastion of humanity on, let's call it Earth. Okay.
Okay.
And of course, they train up their young people to fight the Titans.
That's right.
So that is what we are simulating today in this game that is a one versus many.
Okay.
So one person plays as the Titan, and up to 4 players play the heroes.
Okay.
As you can see, there are 4 different colors of dice and whatnot. There's
Got it.
actually 8 different heroes. We've got some of the most popular ones out there right now, like Armin, Eren, Mikasa, and Connie. There are others as well, and they
Okay.
have figures as well. But the basic gameplay is you've got to, as the heroes, you've got to climb the Titan and do damage to it in any way you can. Get up near the neck and go for that kill shot. Only
Okay.
one way to kill it, and that's going for the neck. And you can do that through sword play, through cannon fire, and other various means.
Okay.
The Titan can win by either stomping on a bunch of citizens, which are out there in front of the Titan over there. There's 12 citizens. If it eats all of those, then it's like, it's too Pyrrhic of a victory to even
Okay.
to bother.
Okay.
The Titan can also win if they destroy all the cannons on the wall.
Okay.
Okay, this is our nice little 3D wall. And the other way they can win is if any hero gets eaten. So the heroes each have 3 health points.
Okay.
And so if any one of them loses all 3,
If one goes down,
if
we're
any
done.
one of them goes down, yeah. So there's no player elimination or anything like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So there are 4 different Titans that you can play as:
Oh,
basic, voracious, deviant, and destructive. Each one has slightly different built-in inherent abilities.
Okay.
And then each one has its own little deck of, I believe it's 7 cards. Yeah, 7 cards.
Okay.
Now, each turn, the Titan player is going to look through their hand and choose 2 cards. These are what the Titan is trying to accomplish for the turn.
Okay.
They will put one of them face up and the other one face down. So the players have some small indication of what the Titan is up to for the turn, but not what the hidden thing is, okay?
Okay.
Now, each of the players gets to roll their dice.
These are really cool,
These
nice,
are
chunky,
giant, chunky, super heavy.
really
I think
well
these
made.
weigh
They're
like a
engraved-
quarter pound each, right?
Engraved quarter pound. They are pretty hefty. They're
Yeah.
very nice. All right, go
All
for
right,
it.
so you're gonna roll. So the dice are giving you actions. The
Okay.
dice are, this is, oh my gosh.
looks like a bad roll. Is
This
that a
is
bad roll?
This is what we call a terrible roll right here. There's 6 different sides, okay? And this was a horrible roll. Let me just kind of, not sure how much the camera's gonna be able to pick out, but there's a little guy with his 3D maneuver gear.
Yeah, they can see them out there.
They can see him out there a little bit. I think they'll know. Attack on Titan people know. We got a maneuver gear. That's a move. We got swords. That's damage if you're on the Titan.
Okay.
We've got the cannon symbol, which you can do damage if you're on the tower. We have the little. This symbol is the tactics symbol.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
And finally, and then the dodge symbol, little grappling hook.
Yeah.
And finally, what I rolled mostly was the Titan head, okay? Titan heads, this is not a good thing to roll because this is a press your luck, dice action driven game.
Okay.
Unfortunately for me, these 3 cards all go to the Titan. So in a starter game, you're probably gonna have the Titan player playing the basic. That's the basic right there.
Got it.
I would now give the Titan player those 3 dice.
Oh, I see.
Which is
I see.
super duper bad.
So they'll be able to use these against you
Right.
now.
Yeah, there are 3. Each of the different Titan versions of the Titan, or each different Titan has 3 different Titan head abilities.
Okay.
And the more heads you give them, the worse it's going to be for you.
Okay.
Now, I said press your luck. That is useful because I can re-roll my dice as many times as I want. However, guess what? Any Titan head I roll is going to go over there. Now, for instance, this trample card, if I needed to dodge this card, I would need to provide 2 grappling hooks. I have 1, so I'll press my luck and see what happens here. No, and I lose a Titan head. So it's probably just, I'm going to give up at this point. Now, obviously, in it, we would have all of the heroes playing at once. So if there was like, if I was playing just against you, I would play all 4 heroes,
Got
but
it.
you can play
So
4.
they're always all 4 in play.
You're always going to play with all of them,
Got it.
yeah, so they can do their thing.
So if you're playing, if
Well,
you are
actually,
playing
that's
with
not
a full,
necessarily true. You can play with fewer.
Okay.
Yeah, but we tend to just want to see the whole team together.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Each of
If
the
you're
heroes.
playing with multiple players, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Does everybody get to roll simultaneously?
Yeah, everyone rolls at the same time.
Sounded
and then
like you were
there's-
saying that,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can strategize to be like, okay, well, why don't you, why don't you re-roll and see what you can do? Because maybe we want you to hit this first.
That's interesting.
And that way there is strategy amongst the players.
Yeah,
One of
cool,
the big strategy points is in these gigantic tactics cards. Remember that tactics symbol I mentioned? The little window on the world over here?
Yes.
That's a tactic. Okay, now the tactics deck are little incremental victories that you can win other than just smacking down the Titan.
Okay.
So this is a great one, probably my favorite one to hit early. This is a randomized deck, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
This blind side, if you can enact it, what happens is you need a hero on level 4 with 2 dodges.
Okay.
You need a hero on the tower level 3 with 1 cannon, and then just any 2 other cannons from anywhere else.
Okay.
If you can get that, then you can enact the blinding shot. And what that does is it makes it, they must put both cards face up. So the Titan wouldn't
the
just
rest of
have
the
the one
game.
for the rest of the game. Right. So that's a great one. So you would leave it off to the side and say, we have that ability.
Got
okay?
Got it.
And then you basically are looking for, this is the damage meter here for the Titan, okay? And it's not that difficult to get it up into the kill zone. What is difficult is getting up top and staying there, because the Titan has a lot of tricks up their sleeve where they're gonna try and knock you down.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But if you've got the dice to dodge, you can avoid it, all right?
Okay.
The problem is being able to dodge and have enough symbols to still make the kill shot.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
eventually what happens is it normally would take 2 of these tactics cards to be able to take the top tactics and put it on the bottom, looking for one of the kill shot cards.
Got it.
So the kill shot tactics are either neck slash or eradication. Okay.
Okay.
So two
Just
out of
two in there,
just
right.
2 out of the 7.
Okay.
So you've got to find those. Now, characters do have special abilities. Connie over there, people can kind of see the little orange things at the bottom going on.
Yeah, right.
Connie has, whenever he spends a move, whenever he takes a move die action, he actually moves 2. Movement in this game, for instance, Connie's over here, so with a move of 2, he could go from 5 to 6. I don't know if people can see that these are numbered.
Right.
So it goes from ground
it's
floor
levels,
0.
basically, right? Yeah.
Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're also color coded, so there's the blue is the top half of the Titan, brown is the lower half. There is a special rule where you can move from 0 to 1, you can move from 0 to 1, obviously, getting up. You have to go in order.
Okay.
But there are stairs in the wall, so you
Okay.
can move from the ground to 3 as well.
Okay.
So you got to
Okay,
decide
interesting.
where do you want to go. Do you want to go to 1 or do you want to go to 3 on your turn?
And all the numbers are both on the Titan and on the building. I see them there on the building.
These
so it's
do
very
have
clear.
numbers on them, and yeah, that fits together. Yeah, Mikasa, she does 1 swords, is actually 2 swords, so if she's on the Titan, she deals 2 damage to it.
Okay.
Aaron can actually loan other players dice, which will help them dodge some of the things that might knock them down.
Okay.
Armin, very nice ability. He can spend 1 tactics die, just 1, and search through the deck for the perfect tactic.
Wow.
Okay, so very
Get whatever
useful.
you need right there.
There you go. Yeah.
Very cool. How long is the gameplay for it?
The gameplay is, it's 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, so it's
Goes
quick,
pretty well.
short.
And certainly, if you're getting stomped by the Titan, it can go less than that. But yeah,
Yeah.
30 to 45.
Cool.
Yep,
All
2 to
versus
5
1.
players.
Attack on Titan. When is this going to be available?
This is coming out in the second half of July, so just about a month.
Pretty soon. Pretty
Just about a
soon.
month,
People will
yeah.
be able to get it at Gen Con.
Certainly at Gen Con, we've had very, very limited quantities here at Origins, 1 case a day because we had them airshipped at great expense, but for the fans.
Okay,
So,
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And what's the MSRP on this one then?
MSRP is $40.
$40.
Pretty good for a vertical board game with
Yeah, and
all
this
that
is,
stuff.
And it has quite the pedigree, as you mentioned. Antoine Boza, and it's with Ludovic, was it? Or
Ludovic Maublanc.
Yeah, Ludovic, Antoine. Great looking stuff. Neat theme. Cooperative, all versus 1. Very cool. Thanks for coming by and showing it to us, Matt.
Certainly.
Looks fantastic. I myself cannot wait to chuck some of these dice and take down the Titan. Looks great.
Awesome.
Good
Thank
talking
you.
to you. Thanks very much. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to see you next time.
All right, here he comes. So this is Rob Warren, if you haven't met him.
Have your attention, please. Visit the Art Expo in the back of the hall to see industry professional artists that are guests of honor Heather Breyer and our gem hidden in the very back, Annie Cobb, is giving away original artwork with every purchase of Lola. Great deal.
How you doing? It's Rob again, and I am with Matt from Cryptozoic Games. Matt, how are you, my brother?
Doing well.
All right.
It's Friday, right?
It's Friday somewhere. I think it's Friday here. You kind of lose time here when you're
totally,
here.
Especially Origins with their Wednesday start. Yeah, crazy.
I'm like, it's only Friday? What, really?
I know.
We had a couple of questions earlier.
Great.
On this game, and the first one was, can the Titan be controlled AI, or does the player have to control it?
The intent is for there to be a brain behind it so that you can make tactical decisions as the Titan. You want to be able to react to where the players are, either on the tower, on the ground, on your legs, on your upper half. So you would... It's not quite. If you just did random cards, it wouldn't work so well. I guess you could try it out. I haven't thought of it even like that, but I guess what you could probably do is play 3 cards face down.
All right.
Or you know what? Just to kind of not mess it up too much, maybe 1 card face up and 2 cards face down. That way, there's just a reasonable chance that some of those cards are going to actually be relevant for the turn, and it would kind of simulate a little bit of a brain, just because they can just kind of luck into a little bit more challenge for the players. So I would say it'd be possible. I'm sure some enterprising people will figure out a cool way to do it. But I would, off the top of my head, one up, 2 down. That would probably be okay to try out, and post online how it works. I don't know. Modify that all you want.
Now
be the vanguard.
Yeah. The other question that they had was, can you help other heroes?
You can. There are, like Aaron, his ability is to loan dice to other players.
Okay.
So he's a good one. If you're a helper kind of player, you probably want to play as Aaron. You're going to be able to loan dice to the other players so they can do, especially dodges is a powerful one. Or if they need to move, things like that. There are some of the cards the Titan plays are actually overcome by group effort, like playing multiple tactics symbols to interrupt one of the Titan abilities, and that's a group effort. So one person could contribute more if they wanted. So I guess that's kind of a help. So there's not an inherent everyone can help everyone, but there are ways to do it, and Aaron is the best one at doing it.
Okay. Will there be minis?
There are not minis in the initial. We have standees, but I mean, gosh, it's certainly looking to be very popular. I mean, maybe a deluxe edition in a year, but
and this is the final art also.
This is final product. We've been selling a case a day here at Origins, and we get a line up before we're even open, so they sell out in the first 10 minutes.
Now, the big question that everybody asked is, do you need to know the show to really appreciate this game?
You actually don't need to know the show, because it's a straightforward, just think of it as a monsters attacking, it's kind of a defend the castle type
this
game.
thing is just huge.
Oh yeah, that thing is big. I like to call it a vertical board game, because you're moving your piece on up towards the neck to go for the kill shot, and you got to keep the damage on there. Don't give too many dice to the Titan, because they're gonna do bad things to you. So as long as you're just like, hey, I'm moving around, I'm trying to enable some tactics cards and get up there to the neck and go for the kill shot. You don't need to know the lore of the show, and you don't need to know that the person you're playing in the game has already died in the show either. You know? I mean, so, because there are 8 characters, no spoilers, but
that's what they were asking. Are the special Titans from the show?
Yes, there's there are 4 Titans to play. There's Basic, which is kind of the starter one and really good for demos. There's a Voracious, Deviant, and also forget the last one. Voracious. Yes. So there it is.
There you go. All right.
Did I already say Voracious?
Yeah, I think you said Voracious.
Oh,
Deviant?
Destructive. There you go. Yeah.
Well, how can we forget Destructive?
Voracious, Deviant, and Destructive.
All right.
There is not variation in the actual gigantic this guy, but yeah. Oh, is that?
That's
They
us.
can see this.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this is live.
Okay.
Oh, you thought you were talking to the
couldn't
computer?
I didn't even know that we were
No, we're live.
being videoed here. So
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I holding this up? No one can see it. No, okay. All right. I'm glad I shaved.
Yeah, me too. See, we both shaved. All right, Matt from Cryptozoic, thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Good
you.
luck with Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. I'm sure everybody else is. And thanks for coming by.
Great, thank you.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Origins Summer Preview 2017. I'm Mark, and today I am here with Mike Ritchie from Rather Dashing Games, and he's brought us something really cool.
Thanks, glad to be here.
And I see that you have the appropriate hat, which
well,
is very helpful.
It was on the memo of
It was on the
dress
memo, right?
dress code? Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so what we got today is something that you're familiar with.
Yes,
You
I am.
Played it in Vegas a few months ago.
Yep.
It's called Hafid's Grand Bazaar.
Yes.
And this is a pre-production copy, homegrown, home printed, but this will be releasing in September of this year. And so we're really, really excited to get it out. So, just want to jump in?
Yeah, jump in. Tell us more about it.
Okay. Well, it is it's a bidding and negotiation game that leans very heavily towards the negotiation.
Yes.
So like I said, this is a pre-production copy, so I'm going to show you the inside of the box.
Okay.
Put that right there.
Yep.
Got our rules, and what we really like is
this is really cool.
Yeah, the board just is going to
Fold
open.
out. Really slick.
Very awesome.
Really slick.
Yeah. So everything about this is going to have a really, really high production quality to it. Very, very excited.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
cool.
A couple things that make this game really, really unique. The first is that we have cards that are dual-sided, and all of these are. This is actually the back of the cards. All right. So you're dealing with the partial information of your opponent's resources and resources on the table, but with the perfect knowledge of what that item actually is. So that's what makes some of this negotiation in this game really unique.
Right.
So you've got this city, and caravans from all over the ancient world have come to do trade in your great city.
Right.
Like Orient, Greece, Rome, Egypt, so on and so forth. These cards will populate all of these various cities. We then take bidding cubes and we bid for the opportunity to visit those. If you can be outbid, competition's pretty fierce because of a very limited number of bidding cubes. You can then claim these cities in order, then you would add those to your warehouse, which is your hand. You can also bid on ways to manipulate the board. You can try and figure out what that information is in the cities. You can try to acquire cards from other people's caravans when they claim their caravans. And you can also bid on the negotiator. And that is where this game really, really
It really does. I'm pretty
sticks
excited.
out.
That is my favorite part of this game.
So you're negotiating to try and get various items. And they can be sold in various ways, which I'll get to in just a sec. But we really have 3 rules. You can't lie, you can't steal, and you have to honor your agreement.
Right.
Beyond that, everything's up for grabs. The gold that you're going after, you don't see that gold here, but the gold you're trying to collect from each other, cards, you can give them access to customers you may have bid on. You may just even trade for a favor that you have to honor on the next round. I could take your pizza. If you're willing to give me a slice of pizza for my card, that is legal.
That's right.
And that goes on and on. But the interesting thing is, only the players that have put a cube on the negotiator can initiate negotiation. So
everything has to travel through them.
Everything. So
That's
if there's
pretty
6
awesome.
players and only 2 people have done that, all the transactions have to go through them. So they stand poised to make some money or curry
Serious,
favors.
yeah.
Yeah. And after that after that negotiation is done, that's the biggest chunk of the phase. After that's done, we then sell to customers we may have bid on. So like I said, you can offer these as trade as well. So you can trade exactly this customer wants sets. This customer wants various categories. This customer wants everything in a category. So there's various ways to score, each one offering it different advantages and disadvantages depending on how you're able to manipulate the market and acquire those resources. Once that's done, new caravans come, it repopulates, the marker passes the next player, and you go again.
That is awesome. Okay, so how many players?
2 to 6.
Okay, and what's game time like?
Game time, it's very dependent on 2 things. The number of players, because you play as many rounds as there are players.
Okay.
So you have a marker called the Hafid marker. It looks a lot like that guy.
Nice.
And he gets passed between rounds. The exception is 2 players. You play 2 rounds apiece.
Okay.
So that's the first factor. The other factor is how rambunctious is your crowd? A lot of times, like all through the test play,
Yes.
it's just gamers and non-gamers alike. That first round, everyone's polite. It's like, I'd like some red cards, and then after that, it's like, no, you're gonna wash and wax my car if you want this. So it gets crazy. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at 30 to 90 minutes.
Okay.
It's going to be either quick or
Right.
a little bit lengthier.
Yeah, I think the game we played was about an hour.
Roughly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think, and it was just a blast. It went by so fast. And I agree, the negotiating bit and having that, like, I think at one point I was the only one that was negotiating, and everybody had to go through me. And that's when I gathered up lots of coins.
This man destroyed us in Las Vegas.
Yes, it
and
was
we've been playing
quite
with real
amazing.
money.
Yep, it
Yeah.
would have been phenomenal.
For you, not for me. So my wife also wins. She's like, I only win about half the time. I'm like, yes, but that leaves that other half divided amongst all of us.
Everybody else.
So
that's awesome. Okay, so when is this going to be available?
September of this year.
Oh, September.
It is
Awesome.
in manufacturing right now.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
it's coming.
All right, great. Well, Mike, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate
you.
it. All right, folks, stay tuned for more coverage.
Hey, I'll get you set up.
All right, hey everybody, welcome over to the Q&A table. We got Mike Ritchie here from Rather Dashing Games, going to answer some of the questions here. So, first of all, let's go back up here. Where is it? A wargamer. Are negotiations always 1-to-1, or can they have like 3-way negotiations?
Anything you want.
Anything
3-way,
you want,
6-way.
open.
Yep. We've done some of the craziest negotiations. Like I said, again, the only rules are no stealing, no lying, and you have to honor your agreement. Other than that, anything goes.
That's cool. All right. So let's see. Are there variable player powers?
Not at this. Oh well. Yes and no. The variable player powers are all on the board.
Okay.
You bid for those powers. So
Yeah.
it's not that I'm not playing a particular character.
Okay.
So, but I can bid to be able to get cards from someone when they collect a caravan. I can bid to have the knowledge of what's coming into the caravans. I can bid in negotiations. So anything that manipulates the game is on the board itself to be bid on.
Okay. All right. Cool. We had another guy that asked earlier on, what do you think is the best player count for the game, in your opinion?
My opinion? Probably 4 to 5.
4 to 5.
It gives you enough people to really have a lot of negotiation going on. But it's not. I mean, there's not so many people at the table.
Yeah.
But it's really a game where you can't get up and get a drink. You have to constantly. Because you have to constantly watch it, where you're being outbid and what you're bidding on, and then obviously you can't leave while you're negotiating. Otherwise, you're going to be SOL.
Yeah. Understood. All right, cool. So when, I know this is, you were talking about earlier, this is a homegrown copy. When is this going to be hitting the market and that type of thing?
September.
September?
It's printing right now. So
Printing right now. All right, very good. September, the release date, you're going to be having it at a certain convention?
We will be in PAX Philly.
Okay, PAX Philly. The PAX Unplugged one?
PAX Unplugged, yeah. We'll be there, and that's pretty much our non-trade show fall convention, and then we'll be definitely having it here again next year. So
Okay.
it'll still be relatively new.
All right. Will you be able to demo it at Gen Con, maybe?
We're supposed to have early production copies
Okay.
at Gen Con that people can play.
Okay, very cool. Let me just scan real quick. I don't know what that means. If you
Does
want
the
to
com-
answer that, you can. Does the
Oh.
company name have any inspiration in the old Homestar Runner Strong Bad email?
Gotta have blue hair. Well, we were all Homestar Runner fans, but the Rather Dashing, we knew about it and we thought it was funny that Homestar Runner had that.
Yeah.
But the Rather Dashing really came from an amalgamation. The logo's an amalgamation of my partner Grant's and my grandfather's.
Yeah.
Who were both very dashing gentlemen of a forgotten era. Like Grant's grandfather built the Hoover Dam. My grandfather was a bomber pilot in World War II.
That's
Like they were
cool.
those kind of gentlemen.
Yeah.
And we wanted to bring that je ne sais quoi to the table.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. All right, well, thanks so much, Mike, for stopping
Thank you.
by. We appreciate it.
Always
Thank
a
you
pleasure.
guys for your questions. And in just a few moments, we'll be sending it back over to Mark and the interview table. Thanks for staying tuned in.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Origins Summer Preview with the Dice Tower. I'm Mark, and I'm here with Lee and Tommy from Meeple Realty. One of my favorite things, game inserts. Okay guys, show us what you got.
So first of all, to get it started, this is our biggest release so far this year.
Yeah.
So I believe we are the first one to introduce the Gloomhaven insert. Basically, the aim is we are making affordable products and also at the same time try to make the setup and teardown of the game a lot easier. To whom that not familiar with the game, basically it's a scenario-based dungeon crawler with a Euro twist on it. Basically what it is like every round, every time you play a different scenario, and then you need to set up different monster, different tiles, and everything else. So the way we set it up is like, if you look at the tray, we actually have an etching on every single tiles that needed for the setup. Basically this is the terrain tile for the hexes, and then I believe this is for the different territory, and then also we also have each of different monsters. So we group everything so that you can find, if you open up the scenario books, you read what monster, what tiles you need, you can exactly find it really easy. Aside from that, we also try to maintain the secrecy of the game.
Nice.
So basically we kept all of the text box in a specific tray. So all of the characters right here, you just pull it out whenever you need it. And then the same thing with the text box for the cardboard pieces and the card.
Nice.
Is you can just exactly pull it exactly where you need it. Aside from that, we also have a setup tray for all of the pieces that you need during the game.
Very nice.
So all of these status tokens, all of the damage, the HP, the money, everything is right here. And then we also have a twist where it actually a curve. I'm not sure if the camera capture it. So the curve actually allow you to pull the tokens a lot easier than the typical square edges. And on top of that, all of these actually fit inside the box, and then the box will close completely flush. So there won't be any issue with that. One last thing that I'm gonna show is the card tray. We have all of these generic card tray. One is the standard, and then the other one is for the mini. As of right now, we actually use the penny sleeves. But if you actually plan to use the premium sleeve, we also the tray can also handle it. We use the Fantasy Flight, the thicker sleeve, and it's all fit.
Okay. So one thing we forgot to mention, Mark, is that the best thing of this whole show here is the fact that this is $60.
Right.
So I think with a $60 price range or with $60 MSRP, the person who purchased this will get their money's worth, considering obviously the length of time it takes to take this game and set it up. And to be able to have this insert to make that setup time a little bit faster and for $60, I think it's a great deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And I was told that the setup for the game reduced significantly to like 10 minutes to set it up and then get it up going. So
that's fantastic. All right, let's see what else you got.
The next thing we got here, let's move this out of the way here, is we got Yokohama.
So this is our, we are selling the Yokohama Insert Deluxe specifically at Origin. This is our pre-release before we actually put it on our website. So stop by our booth at 347. I believe it's right across Portal Games. So let's start it.
So this particular insert, the box sits nice and flush. Fantastic. And we try to make things a little bit more thematic to all our inserts to make it a little bit more immersive. As you can see, we have these boats here that hold all your components, and there's one for each side of the table. And this particular insert we call a harbor because obviously we got these boats docking in a harbor.
Yeah.
Yep. And then also we actually also put an etching with the harbor sign. I'm not sure if it's clear. And then when you open it up, it also has all of the pieces for the setup, basically like the foreign agent and then all of this power level 5 bonus and all of this marker. And on top of that, we also leave a spot for the future mini expansion that is announced on Kickstarter. So stay tuned for that. Pretty sure it's gonna fit right here. And then the biggest thing that I found out on playing the game, we actually did play the game a few times, is the setup. I believe every time you play for each of the color, you also need to put the pieces on your warehouse. Mm-hmm. So the way we handle that is like we actually have a slot right here where you slide your player board and then basically put all of the pieces right there. And then by the time you want to play the next game, you just pull out your color and everything's ready to go. And then on top of that, I actually did start putting like all of the starting resource. So that by doing that, it's like literally ready to go to play.
So each individual player will have their own tray, which is actually pretty neat
which is
there.
great.
So again, setup time is dramatically reduced. And if you want to go ahead and explain those things there as well, here's your card tray and all your other tiles is there as well. So what we actually tried to do is obviously we try to make things nice and easy for the player to go ahead and make sure everything is set up very, very quickly because obviously we want to play more games and spend less time trying to put the games back into the little baggies. We want to make sure everything fits nice and snug, and as you can see, we're going ahead and putting it back together again.
Yeah,
so
it's really nice.
No more baggies for you guys. It all fits nice and snug in the box like so.
It's fantastic.
And there you go.
There you go.
All right.
That's for Yokohama Deluxe.
What else did you guys bring? Oh, Ethnos.
Ethnos.
So Ethnos, I believe it's one of the more popular Cool Mini or Not that just take the review by the storm. From watching few of the video, everybody love it. So we decided to put something real quick, simple, and ready to go as far as setup time goes. So like usual, everything fit perfectly. The map is actually locked in with a few edges. Mm-hmm. And then you also have this setup tray. So all of your different faction trays, it's all in there. And then also the bonus for the board is also split up for like 4-player plus, and then also the rest of them. On top of that, each of the player actually has this tray that they can just pick out and whichever color they want. And then on top of that, we actually make a twist that the tray is actually interlocking, so it's not gonna move inside the box. This is the biggest one. Basically what it is like, we have a card tray that actually has the divider with all of the etching for different cards. So by taking your randomizer, you can just pick out whichever card that come out, you can just directly pick out exactly where it's at. Mm-hmm. And then the best thing of all is this tray actually fit a sleeve card. I believe the original plastic insert won't hold any sleeve card, but this one will.
Nice. And is this is a prototype right now?
This is prototype right now. It should become available in probably
About a month or so.
A month or so.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yeah. We like to show off our kind of upcoming releases so you guys have a little something to wet your whistle there.
What else you guys got?
All right. Let's keep the show rolling here. Lorenzo.
Oh yeah.
Lorenzo. So we actually got quite a bit of room on Lorenzo. So the way we basically kind of make it unique is like we actually come up with different configuration for the tray.
Yeah,
First
these
of
are
all,
sweet.
we actually have a church right there. So you just pull this out, and then right there.
Yeah.
On top of that, we also have a hidden tray at the bottom, which is for the character tray.
All right, what else do we have in here?
Okay. And then we have a little case here to hold most of the resources. We have a little hinge there, and it kind of holds everything nice and neat, and it's got a little kind of a chest there. Okay.
Yep.
Pull it out. Yep.
And then on top of that, because the game is a dice game, so we decided to come up with our dice tower right there. So
nice.
Even though the dice tower looks quite small, it actually handles this big dice.
Very nice.
So
that's fantastic.
And then on top of that, we also have.
There's a lot going on in this box.
Yeah, I love that you guys put all these gadgets in.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So this is the setup card for 4 different regions, 3 different levels. So the way we decided to do it is like you take this lid and then you set it down, and then you push it down. There you go. It's actually have a lifting mechanism with the screw on the side. It actually pushes it up with the lids. So now it actually you can set it up right in next to the board, and then for an easy access, and then everybody know which level are you at right now, and then that should be good to go. And then on top of that, we also have a setup tray where you actually have different player pieces, and then it also has a hidden compartment where you actually set up, pick out your bonus right there.
Very nice.
That should cover everything for Lorenzo.
So everything has its place.
Yeah, everything has its place. Very nice. So is this again is a?
This is not a prototype.
Okay.
Yeah, give it about a month or so before this is released.
Okay, cool.
And we like to show you things we're working on as well. And I'm sure fans of Zaya will be very, very happy.
I'm a little bit excited about this one.
So this is still in like the research and development phase at the present moment, but we'd love to show you what we have so far. So this is for Zaya.
Keep in mind, it still have plastic bags. We are working like probably halfway. I would say like at least 30 to 40% done.
Okay.
The way it works is like we actually have the planet pieces. It's all fit, and keep in mind we are trying to fit everything with the expansion, the upcoming expansion. We actually work directly with Cody to get all of this set up, and he's nice enough to basically make our product to be licensed products. And then you see all of that, basically it's an easy pull out for all the tiles. And then on top of that, we know that there's multiple different ship level. So you have level 1, level 2, and then level 3.
Nice.
And then you basically, this is actually hinged, so you can actually pull it up and set it right next to the table.
Yeah, that's very slick.
And then we also managed to fit all of the cards, the sleeve card with all of the etching. So you can actually see exactly where everything at. As far as, and then this might be something that I'm gonna change, but we'll see. We actually have like 3 different layer spaceship tiles where you can actually pull this up. It's a little bit harder right now.
Yep.
But this is level 2, and then you can pull it up for the level 3.
That's awesome.
That's something that I still need to work on.
It's still one of those things that we're working on, but I think that we'll get the we'll get the creases straightened out. But as you can see, we like to showcase the game.
Absolutely.
And the cool parts to it. And I think this little mechanism here where the little bay doors open to get the ships out is a nice
It's
little
just so
feature.
cool.
Yeah.
So this is in development right now. You don't really have a release date or...
Right, no release date as of yet.
Okay. What is it? What's the time like for developing something like this?
I believe I spent maybe, I don't know, this is like a bigger one, so I would say like 3-4 weeks to develop one.
Yeah.
But
it's pretty quick actually.
Yes, it depends too. Like for example, like Ethnos, it's actually got it done in like overnight.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
Yeah, we try to make sure that the customer has the opportunity to buy it when they want to buy it. So even though sometimes it feels that our release dates are a little bit far, we make sure we kind of we get it to the market as quickly as possible.
Right. Well, that's fantastic. Thanks, guys, for stopping by today.
Yeah,
really
thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
All right, folks, stay tuned for more coverage.
Oh, so you guys know Sam. Okay, there's Sam.
All right, hey guys, welcome back to the Q&A table. I'm here with Lee and Tommy from Meeple Realty, and they just showed off a lot of eye-busting things and brain-blowing things, and you guys have definitely fired off some questions. So let's go ahead and get to them. First of all, what kind of wood do you guys use?
The wood that we typically use is 1/8-inch Baltic birch. It's a plywood. So I believe it's the best quality out there for the affordable price.
Yeah.
I know there's multiple different one, but we like this particular one in particular because we can actually sand it down and then people can actually stain the different color.
Okay.
I mean, there's some other one like MDF. It's more of the technical side, but MDF you cannot really stain it. And then also what we noticed early on is like those wood actually when it's fray, it's actually like split like pretty bad. But for the plywood, it's actually pretty durable for what it is.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
I've seen some of our customers actually stain the wood, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
So if those individuals want to take that extra step to make their games even more beautiful, staining is definitely the way to go.
That actually leads into another question that, another gamut of questions actually that were leveled against you guys. And that it had to deal with customization. When they purchase from you guys, I mean, there was questions about can they be purchased where you guys stain them? Can different fonts be used? All of that kind of stuff. What's the level of customization that you guys offer for the customer?
As of right now, we are trying to streamline our product, so we are trying to limit the customization at this point.
Okay.
I mean, after they purchase the product, if they want to stamp it like basically hot stamp the wood, it's fine. But I mean, as far as like customization on our part, we typically try to minimize it because we're trying to streamline it so we actually have a more efficient product.
Got it.
What is called the production time.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it takes longer to produce it, then the cost gonna go back to the customer.
Right.
Because
But obviously, to answer those questions, we never want to leave any doors closed.
Yeah.
As time goes by, it might be something that we might be going on into because there is, as you know, a large demand for it.
Right.
And so, as of right now, as Tommy was saying, we're not looking into that. But again, that's something maybe we can kind of look into in the near future. So for those who want customization, kind of stay tuned.
Cool. All right, sounds good.
And something to add on that, we actually pick up a custom projects. For example, we actually did one for the Easter egg hunts for one of the university.
Yeah.
We actually come up with most affordable. I think they order 200 of them.
Yeah.
And we actually get it done, and
Okay.
they're quite happy with it. And then we see a couple of the picture. The teacher promised us to send a few of the picture on our website, and then we'll post it on social media.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool to see our product is actually the kids actually color them and then basically
That's cool.
draw on them. So
Yeah.
that's pretty nice.
That is cool. All right. So, in your opinion, this is a little bit of a heavy hitter, but in your opinion, what makes your inserts better than anybody else's?
Well, simply enough, obviously, the customers that we have are very, what's the word I'm looking for, dedicated to their games. We're trying to make sure that our inserts have a certain flair, certain panache, certain kind of customization to it, so that when they pick up the insert, it's just not an organizer. There's something to it. There's
Right.
just something more to it. So when
Yeah.
they pick it up, it's something that they can talk about on the table while it's out there.
Yeah.
So that's what we try to shoot for. That's what we try to aim for. And we find that almost all our products, pretty much all our products, have that special quality. So that when somebody looks at it, hey, where did this come from? It's
Yeah.
just something else to bring people to the table
Right.
together.
Yeah, exactly. There were a lot of comments while you guys were over there talking about how the church and the different ships and all that, the ship depot and all that kind of stuff for Zaya.
Absolutely.
So
We definitely take pride in that.
It's definitely resonating. It's definitely resonating. So a couple other things here. How are the Yokohama inserts selling here at the show? There was one of the guys can't be here until tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he wants to know if he's going to be able to pick one up tomorrow.
We can't guarantee anything.
Better work that out, man. All right.
But don't worry, we're actually gonna have it on our website. That's one of the more finished product that we make sure we have enough to carry over for Origin, and then right after we will try to stock it up so we can actually start selling it on the website. And just FYI for everybody that's wondering, so Yokohama will go up first, and then either Ethnos or Lorenzo will go up next. So we will make sure Yokohama go first, and then the prototype one will need some more finishing work, and then that should be ready to go.
Okay, so I know you guys mentioned that it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to design an insert. How much thought, how much of that process is devoted to making sure that there's going to be enough room for expansions?
That's one of the first questions we asked ourselves. One of the biggest culprits of that is Fantasy Flight. And so it's one of those situations where when we make an insert, we always have that in the back of our head.
It's got to be a headache.
It is a
when you
headache.
get one of their games, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's one of those things you're going to have to balance the creativity and the practicality.
Right.
And so sometimes we go more on the creativity side, sometimes we go more on the practicality side.
Right.
But we always have that question in the back of our head. There's probably going to be an expansion for this game later on, so we need to take that into account. So, it's always in the back of our head, and we always try to plan around it, but obviously we don't know the future, and we can just kind of plan as we plan. So, but yeah.
That's cool.
And one thing to add on that is we are to the benefit of our customer and ourselves, we basically try to reach out to the publisher to make sure it's hey, if we can work together and then figure out what kind of expansion do they have. Basically it's not necessary to be final information. We just try to figure out hey, what kind of components are you gonna add? If it's just card, it's easy to handle. If it's cardboard and stuff, if they don't have size, then there's nothing much we can do.
Got it. So you actually maybe on the front end, you're almost proactive in talking with the publisher first.
Yep.
And trying to establish that communication.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's see. Can you store the Yokohama insert vertically without pieces falling out?
Yes. We ship our products here in a crate, so it's
there you go.
It's shoveled everywhere. So it stay in place. There might be 1 or 2 pieces shoveling around, but it's not. It's pretty much everything stay in place.
Okay.
Now, I don't.
And sorry to cut you short, but almost every single one of our product can actually store vertically.
Okay.
I mean, even Gloomhaven can be stored vertically, but I don't know if a lot of people gotta do that. It's like 25 pounds. So
roll with it.
Exactly.
So, all right. Now, I don't want to step on any proprietary feet.
Sure.
But the question was asked: what kind of software do you use to design your inserts?
We use a lot of the 3D CAD, so like SketchUp, and then like there's like Inventor. There's a lot of different things. There's not really a favorite one at this point. We're just testing out different software.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, my background is engineering.
Okay.
So I was taught in school like for 4 years.
Okay.
And then basically it's come to nature, like whichever software we use, it's fine. And then Lee is actually a doctor.
Okay.
So, and then, but he's a laser technician before, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm the stupidest person at this table. No, that's exactly what I just heard.
When you see our student loans, you're the smartest guy in the whole group.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Will you guys be at Dice Tower Con? Somebody asked that question.
Not this year because we have a few family things going on later this year.
Okay.
A good thing, not a bad thing, but
Yeah, true.
there's a few things coming up that we also gotta skip Gen Con.
Oh, really? Okay.
It just worked out that way.
All right. Maybe next year then.
Absolutely.
All right.
Maybe
And then
next year.
finally, how long does it typically take to build one of your average inserts? I know it'll vary based on the size of the game. And how many different pieces, but generally speaking.
I would say, I mean, like the smaller one, it will be taking like 30 to 45 minutes.
Yep.
And then on average, like the bigger one, there might be an average on an hour. But obviously it depends on like how practical your building skill is. It's like almost like a building Lego.
Right.
I mean, like we have a pretty clear instruction. We make sure we actually test it for a few different people, and then like if we have a comments back saying that like, hey, there's a mistake in here, we try to fix it as quickly as possible. So yeah, I mean, I think on average it's about an hour-ish.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, depending on the insert and depending on the complexity of the build, that'll depend on certain things. But if you've built inserts before, if you have the necessary tools like a hobby hammer, which I highly recommend, makes the building process so much easier. It's almost like you're kind of building one of those little, like Tommy was saying, like a Lego set. So our instructions are clear enough so that I think that somebody with a moderate level of building something complete something in about an hour or so.
Okay.
So,
all right, cool.
And something to add on that is our design is also, we design it so it have an offset where the joint actually interlocking to each other. So I mean, like we try our best to make sure when you actually put it together, you don't need to use glue. I mean, like if you look at our instruction, it recommended to have glue around just in case if the joint come loose for during production or something, you can fix it. But for the most part, myself actually put two together for the show, like because we have few things that come loose, but it's literally I don't need glue at all.
That's cool. All right, that's good, and that's probably a really good thing for them because glue can get messy.
Yes, it can.
I know by experience. All right, well, thank you, Tommy, and thank you, Lee, for stopping by. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for your questions. We're going to send it back over to Mark here in a few moments. Thanks for staying tuned. All right, guys, thanks so much.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Origin Summer Preview 2017 with the Dice Tower. I'm Mark, and I'm here with Gil from Formal Ferret Games.
Hi everyone.
Hey, show us what you brought.
All right, so this is Wordsy. This is my new word game that is hitting stores in August and delivering to backers really soon.
Mike, your
Is
mic?
my mic not
Yeah,
on?
here, check. On the top here. There we go.
How about now?
All right. Start over.
Okay.
All right. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, folks, welcome back to this Origin Summer Preview 2017 with the Dice Tower. I'm Mark, and I'm here with Gil from Formal Ferret Games. So, Gil, show us what you brought.
Excellent. So this is Wordsy. This is my new game that is coming out in August. delivering to Kickstarter backers in a few weeks.
Okay.
This game is a word game. It's a reimplementation of my first published game, Prolix,
Okay.
and I streamlined it, and I think it's totally new and it's really, really good. So the general idea is this is a word game, but it's not like it's super unique because you don't need all the letters in your word to be on the board.
Oh,
you
okay.
can use any word you want. You just add in any letters that aren't there. You just only score for letters that are there. So, for example, you could. I'm just going to say, for example, you could use telephone.
Okay,
for
yeah.
example, that's missing a bunch of letters.
Right.
That's fine. You just score for the letters that are on there.
Oh,
so
I see.
telephone.
Okay.
Looks like that. Now,
Yep.
if you're really good, you would get telephony, and get
Yeah.
the Y as well.
That's right.
So the game rewards longer words, which is kind of cool. You score based on what column the letters are in.
Okay.
So you're looking. So this is a 5-point column. So that's
Okay.
5 points, 10 points,
okay.
plus 1 for using a rare letter. So
Okay.
that's 11, 15. 15 and 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19, and then 2 makes 21. That's actually a pretty good word.
Pretty good word,
Yep.
yeah.
So the idea is you would write down your word on the score sheet.
Okay.
So let's say I would get telephone, for example.
Okay.
So the way the game would work is we would both look at the board at the same time. And there's the sand timer over here. First player to write down the word flips the sand timer. It's a 30-second sand
Okay.
timer. Everybody else has 30 seconds to come up with their word.
Okay.
So you would come up with your word. Once you come up with your word and the timer runs out, we would score both of words.
Right.
So if I am the fastest player and my word is equal to or better than everybody else's word, I score 2 bonus points.
Oh, I
that's
see.
that's this guy right here. Check that column.
Okay.
Now, if you are the fastest player, if I'm the fastest player, but your word is better than mine, you would check this +1. You would get 1 bonus point.
Ah.
So the fastest player, as I attack myself with Sharpie. If you're the fastest player, you want a good word. You can't just do cat
Right.
and hope that'll do well, because that won't end well for you.
Right.
You want to be the fastest player, but the fastest player with a good word.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the game in a nutshell. It is 1 to 6 players, and it plays in about 20 minutes.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by. This is great.
Yeah, my pleasure. Also, if people want to know about my other games,
Oh, yeah.
because I have a lot of people know me for the networks.
Right.
There's a 3rd printing of that should be hitting stores in August.
Okay.
And I also in August is the expansion called
good.
the Networks Executives.
Oh, right.
And that introduces variable player powers, and that's going to be on Kickstarter in August as well.
That's
so
exciting.
August is a big month for me.
Yeah, it'll be
big month for
huge.
Formal Ferret Games.
All right. Well, Gil, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much.
All right,
Sorry,
folks.
quick drive-by, but glad to
See
be
ya.
here.
Stay tuned for more coverage.
How are you again? You guys need a hand truck?
We're like, which game should we get? Oh, let's get the heaviest ones we got.
Comp request. I know. This is what happens. How many of this here? Sorry.
All right, you're up.
So you'll have a look at set time while he's on the. Yes, Red Raven right now. Okay. Yes, and then I'll bring over. This is Frank from D&D Games, Game Studios, and he'll be our last one, and then lunch. Okay. And I want to get him up as soon as possible because there's no one on here.
Yeah, this year we were about 5 people. Last year was 3 of us in a car. 5 people in a car, big difference.
What kind of car is it?
Volkswagen.
It's like it's a sedan. The trunk is big with the inside 5 people.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah, I thought
thought I was getting the front seat. I ended up being in the back. It sucks, but we're here and it's good. We're having a good time. Looking forward to the trip. I'm finally flying. I get the glasses. What time is your guys' thing? What's in wagers probably?
We're doing a different kind of experience. Our live show is going to be you go down, you're going down the escalator, take a left, ballroom.
And tonight, what's going on?
Tonight we have a back dinner, and then after that,
All right, man. Well, good luck today. Have fun. Thank you for supporting. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember me from MeepleCon. Well, good seeing you again. And yeah, are you interviewing me, or is it? Okay.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Origins Summer Preview with the Dice Tower. I'm Mark and I'm here with Ryan from Red Raven Games.
Hey, how's it going?
So excited to see what you got.
Yeah, so I've got here Klondike Rush. This is our game that will be released in August.
In August, okay.
Yeah, let's see if I can get a shot
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
box cover right there. Yeah. So this is a it's a bidding stock route building game.
Okay.
Set in the Gold Rush in
All right.
Alaska. Okay. Now there's a crazy thing though. As these prospectors are going up to search for gold,
right?
They're running into this monster, this ice
Sasquatch?
creature. Yeah, yeah, sort of a Sasquatch, and who's causing havoc. So the
Nice.
goal of the game is to be the most wealthy and to catch this
And to capture it.
creature. Yeah. So the way it works is there are 4 mining companies.
Okay.
And so every turn you'll draw a card.
Okay.
Of one of these companies, and then everyone gets a turn to bid, but you only get to bid once.
All right.
And when you bid, let's say you get one of these cards, it'll tell you get a number of mines. So this is the red mining company.
Yeah.
So you put a mine on it.
Very
these
cool.
awesome
They're really nice.
mine tokens that
These are awesome.
Yeah, I actually sculpted this. I didn't know how to 3D model, and
Right.
I just kind of figured it out. So
Those are fantastic.
it's kind of fun.
Love them.
Yeah, so you'll get this mine and this card, and then on your turn you can build mines on the board. And it's sort of a route building thing. So this is the starting space right here. And then you, there'll be a color, there'll be one of each color.
Oh, I see.
And then you'll sort of build from there.
Okay.
And there's a connection cost depending on where you go. And you can go as far as you want.
Okay.
And that's important because you'll want to choose one of these different goods there. So like if I build a mine on the salmon, then I can take the salmon token.
Okay.
Now building a mine will increase the value of the red company. So there's definitely that stock element where like
Right.
you have some red stock and I have it, but maybe,
Maybe.
You know, they don't. And so we're trying to work together to like increase the red value, right? Okay, it's got that thing. But
Nice.
it also has this sort of collection of goods element. So everybody has these order cards.
Oh, okay.
And if you get enough goods of a certain type, you can turn it in for extra money.
Okay.
So there's that motivation to keep building on the board.
And you have the money in the game here?
Yeah, so these are the cool money cards.
Nice.
So I got
like
some,
that a lot.
You know, old. I looked at some old money from the
Yeah.
period and.
Oh,
tried
that's
to copy
fantastic.
it.
I
Yeah.
like it.
So this style is more. So years ago, before I had Red Raven, I did art for a game called New England Rails.
Oh yeah.
And that was Rio Grande by Walter Hunt. And so this is maybe more in line with that style of art compared to some of my recent games.
This is cool though. I like it.
Yeah. So anyway, if you build a mine on one of these monster tokens, then that will whoever has the most monster tokens at the end will catch the creature, and you get a reward.
Okay.
For money.
Oh, let me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yep. So it's a pretty straightforward game. It takes about an hour to play. And
okay.
You know. Oh, there's one other thing that's pretty cool. So in the game, you'll get paid at the end for your stocks, but you also get paid in the middle, but you get to decide when you get paid.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
so you have to. You're trying to stretch it as long as possible.
Of course, yeah.
So you can get money, but if you run out of money, then you can't bid on anything, and so you'll get shut down. And so there's like that really, that really tense timing in the game.
Okay, so what's player count and time on this?
So it's 2 to 5, and it's it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to
Cool.
play.
And when's it going to be available?
It'll be out in August.
In August?
We
okay.
didn't kickstart this. It's just straight to retail.
Publish? All right.
Yeah, we'll
So
have it at Gen Con.
Gen Con? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, Ryan, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. All right, folks, stay tuned for more coverage.
Thank you.
Attention attendees, help save lives. The Red Cross is hosting a blood drive today and tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Donors will receive a free t-shirt and entry offer for Columbus Zoo logo and Easy Day Pass. Donate in group A113. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back to the Q&A table. I'm here with Ryan Lockett from Red Raven Games.
Hey.
And did I pronounce your last name right? I think
You
I did.
did,
Right? All
yeah.
right.
That was
Super.
perfect.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. We just have one that popped up right here. So we'll read that one first, and then we'll get to these.
Okay.
It says a lot of Red Raven games lend themselves to having an app integration or to be completely transposed in app form. What do you think about that? And are there any plans for that in the future?
Yeah, so actually, the 8-Minute Empire app will be out sometime this year. I think maybe in a few months.
Okay.
So I have worked on apps over the years, and some of the projects kind of fell through. So maybe that's why we don't have any published currently.
Okay.
But 8-Minute Empire, and I know people always ask for the Above and Below app. And what I can say at this point is we've definitely thought about it, but I can't say anything concrete yet about that.
Okay, that's a neat little teaser there. Okay, good. Is it still possible to get metal coins for near and far?
It is possible if you come to Gen Con or any con that we're at, then we sell
so
them.
you're selling them at conventions, but not on a website or anything like that?
Not currently on the website.
Not currently. Okay. Now, are there any plans to add solo variants to any of your past or future games?
The next game I'm working on is likely that it will have a solo ability to play solo.
Okay.
So
all right.
I know that's more popular. People want it more these days. So
yeah, there does seem to be a groundswell. Of that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. When is Haven kickstarting? And a follow up to that, how far along are you in development?
So we're not sure if Haven will be kickstarted yet or not. It actually might be direct to retail.
Okay. That's a positive thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah. And it's likely it'll be out early next year.
Early next year.
Yeah.
All right.
In fact, right before I came to the show, I was doing art for that game. So
always working.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Now, another person is musing here. They said images of what looks like a near and far expansion have been circulating. What they thought looked like could be. Is there anything there?
Yeah, I'm currently working on a small expansion for the game. This expansion focuses on changing some of the buildings at town.
Okay.
There are no new stories in this one, but there's a lot of new crazy little mechanics that you can play with.
So just to change up gameplay a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Let's see. Yeah, we're not going to go with there. Okay, if you could co-design with a designer of your choice, who would it be? Don't you love these kind of questions?
That's a tough one. I need to go think about that for a while. You know, I admire a lot of designers.
Ballpark.
You know, Martin Wallace. I like his designs.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So
that
that's
would be
fun. So do you like his older, heavier designs, or do you like his newer, lighter designs?
You know, I like both actually, but I feel like Martin Wallace. I like his stuff because it feels like he approaches stuff in a different direction than a lot of designers do.
Right.
And I appreciate that. And yeah.
Just like to tap into that a little bit. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's see here. Family Showdown says, question: does 2-player play the same as 3 to 4, or is there a variant?
On the game we just on Klondike
I would
Rush?
imagine.
Yeah.
I would imagine Klondike Rush. Yes.
So there's not it plays a little differently, but there's not like a dummy bidder.
Okay.
So you don't have to like have a third. You know what I'm talking
that's
about?
a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. For me,
there are a few
that's a good thing.
there are a few rule changes though.
Okay. Very good. All right. So anything else that you want to hint at or allude to for future of Red Raven games?
Not currently, but that expansion for Near and Far is definitely going to happen.
Okay.
I don't have a release date, but we're working on it.
It is in the pipe.
Oh yeah.
All right. Good. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
I certainly appreciate it. Thank you guys for your questions, and we're going to send it back over to Mark here in just a few minutes. So you guys stay tuned.
Sam, I'm thinking about taking off.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Origins Summer Preview 2017 with the Dice Tower. I'm Mark and I'm here with Frank from B&B Game Studio.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are
Yeah.
So tell us about this cool looking game.
This is Destiny Aurora Renegades. It's the only sci-fi game I know of that has both space battle at the same time as your away team is on the planet doing a mission.
All right.
So so you're going to start out with a ship. So you're going to pick your ship, and then you're going to pick your crew.
Okay.
So and your crew is all station specific. If I can find the cards. And so you have your engineers. You have your. Where's my cards? Gotta be in here. Can't find that. Okay. So anyway, you have your crew has engineer, you have your weapons person, you have your navigation person, you have your commander, etc. And then they're right in front of me. Okay, that's why I couldn't find them because they were in front of me. So if you see, there's this is their this is her powers on the ship, and then if you turn it over, this is her powers on the planet.
Very cool. Okay.
So so your ship is going to land on a planet, and then it'll pick one of the docking stations. These will actually be 9 tiles each, plus the end caps. So we just couldn't get it all in the shot.
Yep.
So when your ship lands, then you're going to choose up to 3 of your crew members, which in this case I'm going to use 2, to then land on the planet.
Okay.
So then your ship's going to take back off and then engage up here. However, my weapons person is now on the ground. How am I firing?
How are you firing? Yeah.
I'm not going to fire anymore. So my communications person has to run over and then do weapons.
Okay.
So my ship is not firing as well anymore.
Nice.
It's firing, but not very well.
Right.
So you can be very strong on the planet and very weak in space. So it's a little bit of work placement.
Okay.
At the same time as being very tactical and strategic about who you're placing what. So the main core game will come with 16 different missions.
Okay.
And each mission will be completely different than the other, so you may require different people on the planet. So you have 2 different factions. So you have the Renegades faction, which is your mercenaries, and then the Coalition, which is your space cops.
Okay.
So the missions are based on the villains. So they may have to abduct a princess, they may have to assassinate someone, they may have to steal plans, or whatever. So the space cops are there to try to stop them.
Okay.
So depending on what the mission is, you may need your engineer to hack something. You may need your medic to do a blood sample, or you may need your fighters completely on there. So that depends on what mission you're playing, and the mission will tell you what boards are needed, and then the rest will be random. So even if you're playing the same mission over again, it's probably going to be different.
Cool. How many figures do you have?
Okay, so the core game comes with 24 miniatures,
Okay.
all unique. So
All
there's
right.
no duplicates. So it's 1 to 4 player game, so
Okay.
you can actually play AI for
Really?
the thing.
Nice.
So, and on top of that, if you're playing 4 players, then there's 2 factions, so you're playing 2 versus 2.
Okay.
So
And-
you're teaming up with your saying, okay, what should we do? What you do this, I'll do that.
Right. That's awesome.
And it's basically you're telling a big story.
I like it.
So it's
Super thematic.
Yes. Oh yeah. If you like story-based games,
Yes.
this is definitely a game for you. So on top of that, it's either single mission, depending on how much time you have with your group,
Okay.
or you can go campaign.
Campaign. Nice.
So I wrote it like a movie.
Oh, good.
So the game comes with 3 different storylines. So if you're playing a storyline, you could say, I'm going to do 3 missions, then we're going to do the end, or we're going to do 5. Depends on how much your group gets together. So it's totally customizable to your group.
Nice.
Or personally, if you're playing a single player. So yeah, so if you're playing 3, then you're basically building your crew, you're building your ship up to that point, and then you have an epic ending, which could be an all-out war.
Right.
Or you may have to team up. All 4 ships may need to team up to beat a common enemy.
Right.
So
That's awesome. And does it have? You have a comic book tie-ins? Here?
Yeah, I'll get there in a second. But here's let me show you one of the bosses. So the brown ones don't come with the core game, but they come with standees.
Right.
But these are all add-ons that you can
cool.
purchase.
Oh wow! Look at this guy.
Yeah, look at the difference there.
He's awesome.
So yeah, when you need 4 crews to stand
Look
up
at this
against
thing.
him.
That is so cool. Yeah.
And then on top of that, we have troop transports. What if it lands on the planet? It'll just disperse NPCs.
Wow.
So you and your team may want to team up with your villains to actually destroy that as well. Plus, we have a military satellite that'll pop around space and fire on the planet. So it's not just one board and then the other.
Right.
They're both very interactive.
Very cool.
So yeah, and you'll have enemy creatures that'll pop up and chase the highest initiative character, stuff like that. So yeah, you're definitely building an entire world.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
And then you talked about so the book actually came first.
Okay.
So this is available on Amazon. It's also available through BackerKit. I do sign them because I do my own delivery.
Oh, okay.
So, but the book came first. The second book is already out. The third book is almost completely finished, or not finished, but halfway done.
Right.
And so this tells you the backstory of the characters.
That's pretty cool.
So I actually used the backstory in the game.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So like,
more storytelling. I like that in games.
So like, here's Cunlor Thorn. Okay. He was a pretty nasty looking guy.
Yeah.
So actually on his planet side, you can see it says vengeance. If Jace and Cunlor are within range and line of sight, they each must engage for 1 round. So if they see each other, they got to go fight.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a bunch of those. Like I have other characters that will
rivals and stuff.
Yeah,
in the game.
if they're on the board, then they'll immediately gravitate towards that character.
Very cool.
So it's like a hunting type of situation.
That's neat. Okay, so when is it available?
Well, we're going to mass production right now, so we have a late pledge through Kickstarter right now.
Okay.
Where you can, pick up the extra figures and things to that effect. I'll be closing that down probably within the next week or so.
Okay.
Because we're going into mass production.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we're looking at the end of August for actual delivery.
Wow, fantastic.
And I know everybody's looking at that. Plus, if you order it, also comes with a free comic.
All right.
Yeah, so you can find out even more about the characters. It's actually an adaptation from the first book.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first issue anyway. So the
Nice.
second issue is just about done. And then we're going to be putting it out on Comixology and things to that effect.
Very cool. We'll look forward to that for sure. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, folks, we're going to shut the feed down for a little bit. We're going to take a break, but come back and see us around 1 o'clock. All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys.